Folks, happy Wednesday. What's up, Be Action? Good morning, Cam. How is everyone? Hola, 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 people. What's up, shits and giggles? So hip hop parade. Hello, Junio. Good morning, folks. Folks, when you are joining me on the tube, the Book of Faces. What's up, Tim? Tam Bam. Good morning, Butters. Let me see. Substack, Twitch, YouTube, Book of Faces. Welcome. Glad to see you guys. Please chat so that I can greet you and say hello to you. If you are going to speak to me on Substack, I won't be able to see your comments, but know that I am glad you are here and I'm happy to see you. Good morning, Jen. What's up, Amy? Hey, Carla. Big Daddy V. What's up, Aline? Hello. Coolest moms. What's up, Liggs? Christine, Cam, Sandy. It's going really fast now. What's up, Brandy? Good morning, Letty. Good to see you over there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's up, Michael? Hey, peeps. Good morning, Blue Honey Pot. You're here for the recap from last night. Which part, beloved? Yeah, it was a lot. Good morning, Colleen. I'm glad to see everybody. Hey, Tech Lady. Appreciate you, by the way. What's up, Sherry? Yeah, so I'm glad that you guys are rolling on in here. Yes, which that message was for you this morning. It was 100% for you this morning. So yeah, just checking in. I'm playing your favorite jam. So here's the thing. So I love, that my oldest daughter is also a DJ, and so I love mixes and things like that. And so this is I'll go back and replay it from the beginning, and I'll let you guys just hear a snippet of it while I get everything set up for this morning. Okay. Good morning, Jennifer Cotton. How are you? All right. So here we go. Listen. Let me go back. Oh. So this is a little DJ mix that I love. All right. Good morning, Muffin. I've been doing a lot of old school mixes, Naughty by Nature, pop, and all of that while I've been in the gym. Yep. I think I got everything. Y'all doing well? So listen, things that I need to talk about today. Of course, I need to talk about the President of the United States. Yeah, whoops. I need to talk about his conversation and the argument with BB. I need to talk about Pride. I need to talk about Juneteenth. I need to talk about Project for the People. We need to talk about Brian Kemp. We also need to talk about, and I'm not sure to what degree I want to talk about Cyrus, but we're going to talk about it to some degree. Who in the hell is your God? Well, my God's not in hell, Jeffrey. Who is yours? Who is yours? You believe it. Thank you, Be Action. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just y'all just say the wildest shit. Who the hell is your God? Well, my God's not in hell, but who in the hell is your God? Like, just wondering. Not because I hate you. Anyway, y'all be wilding out. Thank you, Indigo. Yeah, I love this mix too, Farrah. So thank you, Miss Kelly. Appreciate that. Yeah, see, some of y'all are just very, very weird. Appreciate you, Tech Lady. Okay, let's get down to business. Y'all ready? Should we get down to business? We shall. Let's do it. Good morning, Red Pen. Good to see you. So for those of you guys who are wondering, I am everywhere. So I am on the Book of Faces, the Tube of You, the Stack of the Sub, and the Twitch. We are doing Pally today. Yes, no, we are doing Pally today. It'll be a little bit later, probably around 1 o'clock. I have rescheduled my normal Wednesday appointment because the kids are out of school, right? So that time frame doesn't work for the discussion that I need to have today. So what does that mean? That means, long story short, no hard stop for me. Although I do have a lot of work and stuff to do to prepare for tomorrow. I've got graphics to review from Kim and Veronica. Thank you. I've got graphics to finish from myself. I got graphics to relabel that I uploaded last night that look like they don't belong in the state that they are in, but they absolutely do. I just need to relabel them. And so there's a lot to do in the next 24 to 30 hours. So we're just going to kind of dive right in and make things happen. So topics that I don't want to forget. And let me just tell you all some of the stuff that I'm struggling with. Good morning, Grammy. Is like, how much time do I spend talking about the child case? How much time do I spend? And is there anything new and relevant to bring up in that discussion? I don't know. How much time do I spend around primaries, around the infighting between BB and the president of the United States? How much time do I spend around the fucking fire? If you have not seen the insane murals that now exist, what used to be the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, if you have not seen the imagery that that is along all of the walls, they literally have an entire like blocks worth of graffiti or imagery and murals that demonstrate like the greatest atrocities that the United States government has committed against its own people and around the world. And so like, it's got imagery of what's been done to Native Americans. It's got imagery from slavery. It's got imagery from police brutality. It's got imagery from, yes, Jen, it is epic. And so there's a, okay, hold on. I got to read something that just came over, but there's a lot, right? There is, I mean, and it's just, I'm just like, well, here's my thing. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. And so I do want to touch on all of those things so that we can have those conversations. Listen, you guys, my prompt is very clear and very succinct. Okay. So let me just say it out loud. Don't use God to justify your hate. And I mean, any God. I mean, whoever your God is. And in addition to that, especially if you use the God of Christianity, or of the that, I mean that in its totality. And for some reason, after my conversation yesterday and the jabbering from Mr. Edwin in the comments, it was really important for me, I think, to circle back around. I couldn't come back around to anything different in terms of the subject matter. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty clear. The imagery. Good morning, Roll. By the way, I sent you some jams and I have not heard anything from you. But just saying which, right? And so I felt like it was really important to come back around to this subject matter. And because this subject matter correlates to real issues. And this subject correlates to actual policy, and it correlates to election and legislation, and it correlates to our communities and our social programs and or lack thereof. And so I just really want to sit here for a moment, because while I'm not going to debate your opinions about culture wars, right? What I will do is discuss the thing that you believe justifies your hatred, right? So I'm not going to argue with you if you want to be a bigot. I'm not going to argue with you if you have an opinion that says I want to be an asshole in this life. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about that, then be it. But what I will have a very fervent discussion with you about is about the thing that you say justifies and substantiates you in your hatred or in your bigotry. I hope that makes sense. So we're gonna dive into that. And if you find this imagery triggering, great. lean in. Lean in. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to open the panel up because I would like to have as much discussion as possible. What's up, Dirty Bad Bloggers? Today, and I'm going to say this: if you are new to this live, do me a favor and put a 1 in the chat. Thank you, Indigo. So if you are new to me, put a 1 in the chat. If you are not new to me, or you are new to me, these are the 4 guidelines in my space. I only ask for 4 things. I ask that people are respectful. I ask that people do not use slurs of any kind, right? I ask that people don't spam the comments. In other words, don't say the same thing over and over and over again, because it's not good for the algorithm. Commenting is, but commenting the same exact thing over and over again is not good. And it clogs up the chat. It's not productive. And then the last thing is, don't type in all caps. And that one seems like really silly, right? But the reason why not typing in all caps is important is because I have folks in my space that follow me that are vision impaired. And so we want to be respectful of people with disabilities. And so all caps are reserved for those individuals and for my mods. And I don't know why you guys are not letting me handle the people in the chat. You already know that they are working desperately to get your attention. And some of you all are just giving it right up. Why are y'all even doing that? Why are you acknowledging fuckery? The key is, if I'm not acknowledging it, if I'm not feeding it, neither should you. If I don't feed the fuckery, you should not feed it either. Got it? Okay, here we go. All right. When I bring you up to the panel, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. So put yourself on mute until I get to you. And then we can go ahead and dive into these conversations. Appreciate you, Jamie. Yes, I am. In my space, I absolutely am telling people what to do in this space. If you don't like that, feel free to go to another space. But yes, I am. 100%. Yeah, I know, be action. I know. But it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not difficult. It can be challenging, but it's worth it. Give me 1 second. I need to respond back to this really, really quickly. Oh, I saw that. That's beautiful. All right. Hold on 1 second. This is a message that I have to do. Yeah. Okay. Milo, you good? Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Good morning, folks. Let me see. Looks like your name is Lois. Good morning, Lois. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I am fantastic. What would you like to discuss this morning?
Hey, I love your prompt. This is like probably like the 20th one I've been on TikTok. I get on before I'm an older guy. I just get on it to laugh at people. I hope I'm not laughing at you in the end. So don't use God to justify your hate.
Mm-hmm.
So where do I use God to justify my hate?
Well, I don't know if you do. I don't know you. Do you use God to justify your hate?
Hate towards who specifically?
Listen. You would have to determine that, Lois. I don't know what you do or don't use God for.
Really, I'm a Christian and I don't justify hate. Like, I'm not. I don't even have a TikTok page. I don't hate trans people or people of color. It just seems like there's a lot of hateful people on TikTok. Why is that? Can you ask me that?
No, I can't.
Answer that for me.
How would I know why there are a lot of hateful people on TikTok? No, I can't.
Just,
So like you're asking me questions that aren't about me, and you're asking me questions about you. Like you said, how do I use?
Your prompts is don't use God to justify hate.
Correct.
What is your opinion on that?
That is my opinion. My opinion is don't use God to justify your hate.
What hate towards who specifically?
Any hate. Do not use God to justify your hate. Any hate.
So can I ask you something? Is pride a sin in the Bible?
So when you say is pride a sin,
Pride.
I know what pride is. And so here's the answer is no, not in and of itself. The same way that anger in and of itself is not a sin. Right. And so it's really important that when we talk about hold on. Okay, you got to do me a favor. Please, I'm answering you. Don't talk over me. Okay. So we know that so when we talk about is something quote unquote sinful, and you use a very simplistic terminology like anger or pride. No, not in and of itself, right? And the reason why I say that is we know for a fact that Jesus, who in the Bible did not sin, was angry. We know that he was angry enough to flip over tables in the temple and braid a whip, right? So just the existence of a thing does not mean that it exists to the degree that it becomes sinful in nature.
So you're saying that Jesus was being prideful, that he was wrong for what he did?
No, what I said, because you just said that anger was a sin. And what
It is a sin in the Bible, anger is.
So again, so in the Bible, did Jesus commit sin? Yes or no?
No, he did not.
Okay, so when Jesus flipped over tables in the temple and he braided a whip and lashed out at the people in the temple, was he joyful or angry when he did it?
No, he was angry because they were sinners.
But I thought anger was a sin and Jesus doesn't sin.
Oh, okay. So it's your opinion that Jesus is sinful, and as a human being, you have to contradict God because you might be pro-LGBTQ, right?
No, my opinion is that the existence of anger or pride in and of itself is not sinful. It is the degree.
Pride is sinful. Pride is boasting, like
so.
Pride parades.
So Lois, listen to what you're saying, and you have to. Okay,
what I'm saying.
I'm gonna ask you to do this. Listen, this part's important.
You're gonna mute me, you're gonna kick me.
No, I'm not gonna kick you. I want you to be respectful and stop interrupting me.
Oh yeah, that's kicking.
Yeah, no, I'm not kicking you. I'm not kicking you. I'm asking you to have a respectful conversation. You just started this whole thing by saying you're an older man. So then act like it. Act like it. Act like you were an older adult who knows how to have a respectful conversation.
Than me, right? Okay, I got you.
What? What?
I should respect people that are less educated than me. I got it. Go ahead.
What's my education level? Do you know?
You said I as an older man, I should respect people.
No, what I said, and I don't think you listen well.
I did.
No, you didn't, because I'm going to share with you what I said. I'm going to share here's what I said to you. You said you are an older man. You started that in this conversation. And what I am saying to you is if you are in fact an older gentleman, then what I said to you is act like an older gentleman and an adult who knows how to engage in a respectful conversation. That's it.
I do engage with people in person all the time.
Well, I don't think that respect should be determined by proximity.
Respect is earned, not given.
Actually, respect is both earned and given.
All right, so your point is with the hate. So is it harm principle, the Bible
No,
causes harm? two communities.
What are you talking about? Can you share with me where my prompt says anything about the Bible?
Don't use God to justify your hate.
Correct.
So you're saying that the Bible justifies hate, right?
Nope, that's not what I said.
Okay. Are you a Christian?
I said exactly what I said. Don't use God to justify your hate.
A Christian?
My religious practice is none of your concern.
I'm just asking. Are you a Christian?
Again, and what I'm telling you is it's none of your business.
Well, if you're proud to be a Christian, you should proclaim that. That's
well, you don't get to tell me what I should and shouldn't do, because even if I'm a Christian, my relationship is not with you, it's with Jesus Christ.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're being very prideful and boastful. That's a sin in the Bible.
Well, I haven't been prideful at all. I have set boundaries, which you tend to have an issue with.
I asked you, if you're a Christian, you should be like, you should proclaim
You don't say I should be whatever. I should be whatever I am. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Jesus said you should pray in private and not be boastful. As a matter of fact, I think Jesus said, don't go around praying in front of everyone and claiming whatever, but be who you are in private.
So I got to ask you your prompt. You have two men like holding each other like they're going to make out. Mm-hmm. So is that Christian practice?
That's human practice.
Where in the Bible does it say two men can pass on generations to their sons and daughters?
Where in the Bible does it say they cannot?
It's Adam and Eve.
No, but where in the Bible? Where in the Bible does it say they cannot?
You're not a Christian. You're not.
Where in the Bible does it say they cannot?
Leviticus.
No, it doesn't. So wait, no. Where in the Bible does it say that men cannot pass on? See, it doesn't. Yes, I will take that. Y'all see how the Lord works in mysterious ways? Y'all, I didn't even mute him. I'm telling y'all, the Lord be showing up and showing out over here. Buenos dias, Mr. Barrios. Look, you see that? God just said, bloop, bloop. I didn't even do nothing. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Oh, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Well, he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. In case y'all don't know what happened over here, he started teacupping, and then all of a sudden he disappeared off my panel. And I said, look at that. Look at the Lord. Miracles on a Wednesday morning. Praise him. Okay. Folks, when I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you. And then we will have a very respectful conversation if you're able to do that. Okay. I'm going to give you a recommendation. Okay. I'm going to give you a recommendation to listen to what I say, to respond to what I say, to not make your own inferences based on your own prejudice or bigotry. And then we can have a pretty decent example. Okay. All right. So, Hey, Portland. Hey, Veronica. Let's see. Whoop. I don't know if some of you guys are requesting up or if you have tapped your way into the chat. I'm not really sure which one has happened. Okay. Oh, TikTok, stop. Okay. Morning, Rosa. Appreciate it, Jerry. All right. So this is not, for me, a difficult conversation to have, right? So if someone says that pride is a sin, and that was the question that he asked me, well, is pride in and of itself a sin? And my response to that is not in and of itself, right? No worries, Cal. Same thing with anger, right? He says being angry is a sin. And my question is, well, did Jesus sin? And he says, no. Okay, so cool. If Jesus didn't sin, and yet Jesus was angry enough to turn over the tables in the temple and braid a whip, then either not all anger is sinful, or the Bible is a lie and Jesus committed sin. Pick one. That's all you got to do. Pick one. You know? The truth, one of the things that I'm very, very, very particular about in my space is misinformation, right? And so if you would like to discuss LGBTQIA individuals within regard to this prompt, then feel free to come up to the panel and do that. If not, I won't let you continue to put out fake information in the chat, because I'm responsible for what gets platformed here. So choose, find your way to the panel or not. Okay. Ooh-wee. Let me see if I'm done. Yes, Cinderella, correct. Yes, it is. Blessed and grateful. She said it's going to be a long month. It is. It is. And listen to the person who said, we don't care about your AI generated background. Apparently you do, because here you are typing and texting and chatting about my background. So apparently you do. Yeah. So I think, one of the things that you have to ask yourself is, if this prompt and this imagery triggers you and causes you to have some significant emotional reaction, then that reaction is an invitation for you to lean in and discover why. You're welcome, Jen. Right? This is your invitation to figure out why. Because if you're, number one, couple of things that I would say, I would start with this. If you don't use God to justify your hate, then this shouldn't be triggering to you. If you don't have hate towards any of the people represented in this imagery, then this shouldn't bother you. If you don't use God/religion to justify that hate, I don't know why this imagery would bother you. If it does, then that means there's something to explore around either your hate, your religion, or your belief about your hate and your God and other people. Right? And my faith doesn't have anything to do with that. Good morning, Marilyn. Right? So whether I'm Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Wiccan, atheist, agnostic, whatever, right, is irrelevant to your reaction to this prompt. Thank you, Havercamp. Okay? Yeah. Do you want to know why it's irrelevant? Because I don't use God to justify hate. Right? Just saying. So, Headhunter, I'm not sure what you were trying to say. You said, I guarantee you that it bothers DA. Oh, are you trying to say Dame? Oh, I don't know. I have not had a conversation with Dame around anything about this issue. Whoops. Dang. Why does this thing keep popping up? Oh, hold on. Oh, thank you. Okay, Kristen, appreciate that. Okay, there we go. I think this has a tiny bit of a short in it. I need to fix that. Give me one sec. It is this cord that is an issue. Right. I told y'all, I personally think Jesus is like, if they don't get my name out their mouth, I really do feel like that. But now, if you're somebody that wants to discuss it, this prompt in any way, shape, or form, then we can. Mimi, can you bring Tutu one of the red cords, sissy? Because I am struggling over here, y'all.
It's so cool.
No, Inger, it's just lighting. No, there's no word on top of that. It's just lighting. You got it?
Yeah.
Thank you, love bug. Appreciate you.
I knew it. You made the whole thing.
There we go. All fixed up. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My cord had a short in it, and that was not helpful. All right, folks. So when I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you, and then we can continue this conversation. And then we will weave in some current events and things that we need to make sure that we talk about. Okay. So good morning, Sir Johnny. How are you? He's still trying to connect. Yes, the weave, Mr. Barrios, the weave. Great morning, Owen. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Sir Johnny, it looks like you're having trouble connecting. There you go. There you go. Good morning, Sir Johnny. How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the treadmill. This is an accident.
No worries. I got you. I'll take you down.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I told you, Cam, TikTok has been acting crazy. So, well, y'all look at that. Like very quickly, it just cleared everybody out, didn't it? So, thank you, Kelly Bird. Yeah, it was really weird. It was really weird, right? Yeah. So for me, I don't find this prompt confusing at all, right? What's up? Walter, how are you? Why are prices higher in blue states? What prices do you speak of? Oh, wait, maybe you're not a real person. So, Mike, why don't you come to the channel? Why don't you come to the panel? Amy, I don't know. Yes. Yeah. I have no idea why people are so confused by this prompt. Apparently, it is a stretch for folks. Not just yet. Well, so I want Mike to either come to the panel or Mike will go away. And okay, I just gave you some, and hold on, your other stuff is coming. Okay. So one of the things that is important, so this is why I said, Chef, don't talk to Mike Brannon. You all don't talk to him because he wants to sit in this chat and be a distraction. And when you all talk to him, you allow him to distract instead of making him be accountable by getting on the panel. Get on the panel. Okay, if you think you want to educate, then get on the panel. Other than that, you all don't talk to the trolls. You don't talk to the people that are in the chat that are trying to get your attention. No, I've already sent him an invitation. If he wants to have a discussion, a real discussion, then he will come do it on this panel. And if he doesn't do that, he will be muted, not because of what he's saying, but because he lacks the integrity to have a full-on discussion about the things that he's saying. And that's just one of the things that I require in this space. If you are going to make claims from behind a keyboard and in the chat, and especially that claim is, oh, I'm spreading facts, well, then let's come discuss the facts, beloved. And if you cannot do that, you will be muted. I don't honor a lack of integrity. It's not difficult. Well, you've never been on my live. So if you would like to come up and have a conversation, then come do it. Hey, Darnell, good to see you. Just so that you understand how this. So one of the things that makes me think you don't know a lot about whose space you're in is because of the verbiage that you're using. So in this space, people don't typically crash out. In this space, we don't have conversations about libs versus maggots. Like, that's just not language that we use in this space. And the fact that you're saying that pretty much is a strong indicator that you've never been on this platform with me, and that you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, come to the chat, because this is your last 60 seconds. This is your last 60 seconds. You'll either get on the panel or you will be muted and booted. So choose wisely. Same thing for you, Chief. I don't know what I said, Kat, but yes, I might come to the panel. You got it. So just for my mods, Mike and Chief are already on their 60-second timeline. They can either come to the panel or not. That's it. Yeah, nobody asked about your children, Chief. Nobody asked about your children. Teach your children whatever you want. We don't care. Your children are not part of this conversation. And nobody told you not to teach your children anything. I think you should tell your children whatever you want to in your home. And I think that you should mind your business while other people teach their children whatever they want to teach them in their homes. Which is why you don't get to promote what other books other people's children can read. See how that works? If you are glad that you get to teach your children whatever you want to teach their children, then shut up while everybody else teaches their children whatever they want to teach their children. That's not difficult. And one of the things that you will notice is that all he's doing, though, is running his jaws from the fucking chat. You notice that, right? Not on this panel in any way, shape, or form. And that should be surprising to absolutely no one. All right, so folks, again, I'm gonna attempt to do this where I bring folks up to the panel that have requested. And what's up, Joan? And what I'm going to say to you is keep yourself on mute until I get to you. Don't talk over me. Be respectful, and we'll be just fine in this space. Okay. If not, you might have a difficult moment. Yeah, I'm not going to have a difficult moment, but you might have a difficult moment. It will not be me, but maybe you. All right. Easy. Good morning. How are you? Easy Maid.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing okay.
Good. What would you like to discuss this morning? Thanks, Candy Kids.
Oh, quite frankly, anything. I kind of scrolled onto your live a couple of times before, and I never got a chance to come up, so I thought I might just like pick your brain a little bit on what sort of like when we say like hate like this, like what if, I don't know, does this apply to like any sort of group?
What do you mean?
Like say there's like a disassociation, right, that you don't want to associate. Now does this apply to sort of any sort of grouping, like this kind of like hate label that you have up here?
It's not a hate label. Okay.
Okay.
So It just is to me. I don't know why this prompt seems to be confusing and why people need clarity. Do not use God to justify your hate. So, whoever you feel hatred towards, right? Whoever
Yeah.
you feel hatred towards, don't use God to justify the hate that you feel.
How are people using God to justify hate? I'm sort of confused on that.
Well,
Where
some
you get
people
that from?
do. Do you
Like
do
how?
that?
Oh, well, I don't even know how they do it. So how could I answer?
Oh,
How
well,
do people do that?
I don't know. Well, then why request? I'm confused.
Like, I don't even know if this is a thing. I don't think this is a thing. Actually, I've never seen people use God to justify hatred.
I mean, well, I'll give you a great example of that, right? So, in the history of the United States of America, we literally had a slave Bible, right? We had a Bible that perpetuated and that promoted the enslavement of people and even the abuse of said people, right? And the superiority, the subordination, the torture, like all the things of people. And so, yeah, there are absolutely times throughout history where, yeah, where people have used God to justify their hatred. hmm
Yeah, what Bible was that?
I just told you the name of the Bible.
You said the name of the Bible was the Slave Bible.
hmm
Yeah, who made the Slave Bible?
Well, I mean, I'm not here to give a history lesson. If you want to know more about it, you can look it up.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Okay.
I guess.
So my
sort
thing
of
is, you said you
meet-
don't know. You said that you didn't know that people actually could use God to justify hate, and I'm saying that people
No,
do.
it's not that they could. I'm saying that I don't think that they do. You know what I mean? Like, arbitrarily, somebody can just say, all right, they come out with a book and say, yeah, well, this is coming from like God, but this doesn't mean that it is, actually God or religious or anything like this. Like,
Well,
when you say
but
slave Bible, there must be somebody that created that slave Bible,
so the
right?
point,
Like,
but the point isn't who created it. So, like, right? We're not
I
talking
think
about. We're
it's
not talking about. It's not relevant. And here's what's relevant, because
really.
somebody can create. Absolutely, it's not relevant at all, and I'll tell you why. Okay, it doesn't matter
Okay.
who, for example, makes an an AR-15. It doesn't matter who the maker of it is. It matters what the person who has it uses it to do.
It
Right.
doesn't seem like
So,
it would be coming from God if God is
but
maximally
but
good,
follow me.
right?
Follow
The
me. What I
concept of God.
easy. Hold on a second. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. Who wrote something or who made something isn't relevant. What matters is what is the intent of the person that is using the thing to justify their hatred. That's what
Well,
we're talking about. Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. So the reason why I asked like who made it, I'm just trying to like get some sort of reference point to figure out where exactly this sort of took place. Like if they had some sort of authority granted to them, like in virtue of like maybe, historically relevant churches or something like this. Like,
No, I'm not talking about church at
this
all.
sort of authority because when we I'm just saying like how could they have used God in a way that actually represents God, right? So the concept
It doesn't.
of God is
But
something that
so
is
you're looking for
something that is maximally good.
So what you're looking for is an argument that if someone uses God, then they are representing God, and that's not part of the prompt.
Do you simply just mean they're using the name God?
Yeah, so you do not get to use God, right, to justify your hate, period. And you can't correlate that. Here's the point, right? Is you want to mean, oh, but that's impossible to use God or to represent that you're using God if God is inherently good, right? And then
Maximally good.
Well, according to you, right?
Well,
And
no,
so,
that
and
is
my
the
point is
concept of
that's
God.
that's not conditional to the conversation.
This isn't according to me.
But it is.
Like God. Okay, so what do you define God as?
Yeah, I don't define God.
You don't define.
No,
Okay,
I think that that's a very, so for me, I think attempting
Mhm.
to define God is very why, like the fact that me in my humanness could adequately provide the words and a definition that would encapsulate all that God is wild to me. So no, I don't need to define God is. I know who God is for me.
Would it be like a perfect being?
No.
Oh, so God is not perfect?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm. God is love. Love is God, and perfection doesn't exist.
Okay, so love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So His love.
Why is
right?
God a He?
Is
Why
it
is God a
imperfect
He?
love?
So your God is a
okay?
He.
I'm just assigning any sort of pronoun.
But you didn't.
God.
You assigned a masculine pronoun. So I'm specifically.
I could say she. No problem.
But I'm not saying you to say she. I'm asking you if your God is a He, because you inherently you just went out with a He. So I'm asking you, is your God a He?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that so God, when you say that it's love, right, and you're saying that God is not perfect, so is this love, right? Mm-hmm. Is that imperfect love?
All anything that is done by human beings and through human beings is going to be imperfect.
We're talking about God.
Yeah, but so again, what, baby? Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. So again, this is not about who God is for me. It's who God is for you. Yeah, so maybe for you. So maybe for you. So maybe for you, Easy. Your God is perfect.
I'm not talking about my God or anything. I'm just talking about the concept of God. And when you even say like love, okay, mm-hmm. I think it's like pretty important to understand this. If you think that this love, okay, that you've like attached to God is like imperfect love, because I asked you very straightforward, is it perfect? Right? Like,
is what perfect?
Yeah, when you said that God is love, so is that imperfect love?
Yeah. So, but again, that would be my God and how God shows up to me. Right. But you just told me that that's not what we were trying to do.
No, that is what we're trying to do.
Well, maybe that's what you're trying to do.
Well, we can go to the generality.
So who was God to you?
When I asked you generally, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't want to engage.
About what? You asked me what? You asked if God was perfect. That's what you asked.
No, it's not God was. God is perfect.
You asked me. Well, so listen. So it was past tense because you asked me the question in the past.
God is always.
Did you hear what I just said? So let me just be clear, so that we're paying attention. My sentence just now was, you asked me if God was perfect. The reason why the was.
If God is perfect.
Listen to the fucking sentence. Listen. I said, you asked me if God was perfect. And what I'm saying to you is, if you don't stop goddamn interrupting me, I'm going to finish my sentence. And you're either going to be respectful or you're going to get off my panel. This is not difficult. So if I say to you, you asked me something, you asked me if God was perfect. The reason that asked and was are both past tense is because it occurred in the past. So those two verbs were aligned in their tense because it happened in the past 5 minutes ago.
I think you were quoting me, right?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
So I made a statement as to what you asked me.
Okay. I asked you, right? Is God perfect?
And what did I say to you?
You're like, well, I don't want to define it.
That's not true. No, that's not what I said. Nope, that's not what I said. So for everybody in the chat, when he asked me if God was perfect, what did I say? What did I say? Exactly. I said a two-letter word. No.
Mm-hmm. And when you say that God is not perfect, right? Mm-hmm. And then I asked you to define it, and you said it's all loving or love. I didn't say
it was all loving. I was reading somebody's thing in the chat. No, that's not what I said. So listen, see how somebody is saying God is love? You see that? So you are adding two things together. So here's what it said. You asked me to define God, and I said I don't define God. I think it's wild to believe that as a human being that I could encapsulate who and what God is in a definition. And then somebody in the chat was like, God is love. And I said, yeah, God is love, sure. But what my response was, and it's important to know that I was reading the chat, what I said to you, and I'm going to say it again, is I do not feel the need to define God. And my definition of God is irrelevant to the prompt. So either you do or you don't. Easy made. Either you do or you don't use God to justify hate. Yes or no?
Well, I don't, but it seems
so then why do you care? Then what are you discussing?
What do you mean? Why do I care?
Yeah. So what are you discussing about this prompt?
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use God to justify hate?
I'm in conversations with people. I'm in conversations with people. Here's the difference. I'm in conversations with people every day that do use God to justify hate. So that is why I care. Mm-hmm. And here's the difference between you and I. You said you don't even know that people do that. You don't even know if it's a real thing. So if you don't even know, if you don't even think that using God to justify hate could even be real, why do you care? Right? But what I'm saying is I engage in conversations every single day with people who do use God to justify their hate. Therefore, I care.
Well, that's because, all right, I'll give you my sort of premises, because they're simply just using the word God as it is, not the actual concept of God. If we understand what God is.
How do you know that? How do you speak for those people?
Yeah,
how do you speak for those people? You don't know who God is to them.
You know, you're very argumentative. Maybe this is a good trait for you, like to be able to engage. I understand, but if I could finish my thought.
Well, you could if I allow you to. You could if I allow you to, sure.
Yeah, I know you're not all loving, are you?
No, okay, so absolutely not, because I'm not God.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not all loving. You are correct.
Yeah. Okay, so God is all loving?
Yeah, no, I said I'm not all loving.
I know, but you said God is. You said you're not.
No, I didn't say God is.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't just like.
So correlation is not causation. I just wanted to see if you could connect the two. Yeah. So listen, if I say to you, never mind. Go. So do you have something else you want to say? No, he's not. No, so Marilyn, listen. So it's been a couple of these debate me bros that have found their way to my panel in the last. I'm not talking to you. That have found their way to my live in the last couple of days that like to do this, and you know, it doesn't bother me. It's good for the algorithm. So yeah.
Not talking to me, but talking about me.
Absolutely. For the people that are watching on the other platforms that aren't in TikTok, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. You're doing it for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right, great. So I just want to get this right.
I know, Marilyn.
So you just have this concept of God, right? You said that you know what God is, right? But
I don't think I said any of that.
Definition. But you did say that you know.
I said I know who God is to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you
know
who God is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know who God is, right?
For me, yes.
Okay. So who is that God?
For me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that God?
Yeah. Knowing and having to define it for you are two different things. Okay. And I've already explained to you that I don't define God, right? Did I not just say that to you? So why are you asking the question again? Do you have a point? Do you even have a point? What is your point? Be very succinct. What is your point?
Yeah, my point is that you know who God is to you, all right? Yes. And when somebody else invokes God, right? If they're not invoking, you know, who God is to you, right? Or what God is, then this is sort of irrelevant. They're just sort of bringing up a name, like, you know, maybe there's two people that have the same name, Jerry and Jerry. There's Jerry from like Ireland. There's Jerry from like, I don't know, freaking Italy. When I say Jerry and you mistake me, we're talking about the one from Ireland. When I am referring to the one from Italy, right? Then that's sort of like, you know, an error, you know. So like, if you know who God is, and somebody else is like trying to reference something that is not God, you're saying that
Well, I don't
Like, they're
presume to
doing
tell
something
people
that's
who God
wrong.
is to them, right?
Okay, so
Mhm.
is this a fault of the people that just don't understand who God is?
I'm not judging those people in their fault, and or in their concept or in their beliefs.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're not judging them, but they're still wrong?
Yeah, where did I say they're wrong?
You said don't use God to justify
Tell
your
me
hate.
where
Are
that
they right
sentence
to
says
use-
you're wrong.
Okay. Are they correct in
What does
using
what
God
does
to
the
justify
sentence
their
say?
hate?
What does the sentence say?
It says don't use it. This is like a like you
And
ought
so
not.
does this
It's
statement,
saying that you ought not
does
do
this,
this
nope,
thing.
it doesn't say you ought not.
It says
Or
don't
or I
use.
would type
It
the
says
words
don't
it
use.
ought not. It doesn't say
So
that
this is-
though.
This is not a prescriptive thing.
What does it say?
It says don't use. When you're saying
No, it doesn't say
something
don't
like-
use. What does it actually say?
It says don't use God to justify your hate. This is a
Period.
proposition.
It doesn't
Yeah,
say
this
you
is a
shouldn't.
proposition.
It doesn't say you shouldn't. It doesn't say you ought not. It doesn't say it's a sin if you do it. It doesn't say any of that, does it? Nope. It literally just it is a very clear declarative statement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a full
proposition,
sentence.
Right? Yeah, it's a proposition, right?
No, it's
It's a
it's a statement. So what is your point? Kelly, in all fairness, I think it's a combination of the words and the imagery. In all fairness. In all fairness. It looks like the Lord might be showing up again, y'all. I'm just saying, Terry. See, I told y'all, you see the Lord? He's an on time God. Yes, he is. Oh, he's an on time God. Yes, he is. This is what's happened twice now. Both people have come up here, talked out the side of their damn neck, and then teacupped on TikTok and then disappeared. And as soon as he teacupped, I said, "Oh, I think the Lord is about to show up." And sure enough, took him right on out of here. I don't even have, listen. For those of y'all who think this heathen don't know God, you see the Lord is working in my favor at all times and always and every moment. I don't even have to say anything. I don't even gotta say nothing. God just said, she's had enough of this foolishness. Boop, boop, and just plucked you right up out of here. All the time. And all the time, Carla. Welcome, facts people. Love that you guys are popping on in here. This prompt behind me seems to have triggered some folks pretty intensely today. They're having a very difficult time reading and comprehending this very succinct, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7-word statement. They having a real hard time. So good morning, Laverne. Right, Joan. It's a lot for some folks. So appreciate Steve's folks for popping on in here. Folks, when I bring you up to the panel, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. Things that I want to make sure that we still do discuss today. We have to discuss Brian Kemp and his backers. We have to discuss Brian Kemp, his selling a property, and then contracts for people that purchase things. We have to also discuss what's happening with the U.S. and Israel and Iran. I do want to talk about. I want to show you some imagery that is coming out of Tehran, and then there was something else. Hold on, give me 1 sec, y'all. There was something else I wanted to show you guys. Oh yes. We have to talk about a woman who had a miscarriage in ICE custody in the state of Tennessee. Those are things that I do want to make sure that I get to today. So when I bring you up to the panel, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. That would be amazing. If you can do that for me. We talked about Cuba the other day, Terry, but we can talk about it some more today. Absolutely. Happy to do that. And then we are going to have a Pally panel today as well. And I'm looking real quick. Right, Albania defending their land from Ivanka. Yeah. Who said? Hold on, I'm trying to read something real quick. Yeah, I mean, I think Rescue Squad. I think that we share the rubble in Gaza quite a bit. So, all right, Brian. Good morning. How are you? Brian Hart, did you mean to request up? Brian, going once, going twice.
This was my mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries, no worries. No problem. No, Bap, I cannot talk about Donald Trump never being audited by the IRS. I don't feel like there's anything new to say about that, to be frank. No, and I don't find it productive. Not only for like where we are in this moment, but for where we need to go. Like the only conversations I want to have in relationship to the president of the United States is to whatever is happening currently, like because of his actions or his words or his policies, or as to how he relates to what we need to do moving forward. Other than that, I give less than zero fucks about Donald Trump. Texas Rose, you don't know Enrique. Enrique has Dani derangement syndrome. Yeah, and he has a really bad case of it. It seems to be recurring. There's no cure for him. I mean, the cure he just should become a progressive a populist, and then he'd be cured. But he doesn't seem to be able to do that. And so what happens is he just comes back here every time he has a flare up. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's able to sustain, right? And then he just falls off the wagon, and then he's back in here saying all kinds of things in the comments. And so, yeah, I mean, Dani derangement syndrome can be really, really trying for folks. And I'm not judging him for falling off the wagon. You know what I mean? I'm pretty enjoyable. And so, yeah, he's just here for his dose of Dani. And hopefully he'll get his fill and then move on. But we definitely don't entertain him when he's here. We don't do that. Yeah. Island Boy, because I know you're going to be a minute. Can I do E. Jones first just because he's new, and then I'll come back to you?
You know why I want
Sure. I'm not gonna be that long today, but yeah,
Okay.
come back to me.
What, baby?
It's because I went inside.
Yeah.
Because there was a bee outside.
Oh, is that why? Okay, good job. She said, you want to know why I ran inside? Because she ran inside from the balcony. She said, because there was a bee outside. I said, okay, girl. They came and took a wasp nest down from outside, but they're already trying to rebuild another one. And she saw them jokers and was like, I'm out of here, and came straight in the house. So, that, Laverne. Okay. Good morning, E. Jones. How are you? E. Jones, do you know that you're on mute? I sent you an invitation to take you off of mute. I'm not sure you know that you're on the panel. E. Jones, do you know that you're on the panel? Nope. Okay. Island, you are up, friend. How are you?
Hi. Hello, Dan. Oh my goodness. I think these people secretly have crushes on you. They're obsessed with you.
Don't listen. We do not speak things we do not desire to exist.
Okay, that's true. I'm sorry.
So don't be putting that out into the universe. Do not be putting that out into the universe.
I apologize. I'm just calling out certain types of behaviors, but let's not put that out there. Yes, grab the back and bury it under the ground.
Yes. You saw how quick I said,
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Absolutely not.
You know what's funny about my man just now? It's like he's come up here with this dogma that he has. This religious dogma that he has, man. And you are saying some very nuanced and very important things. And he's just missing it. He's just totally missing it. He's missing the fact that who God is for you is personal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And above all else, whether they want to believe it or not, he's missing a central thing. The concept of God and religion, those are all social constructs.
Yes. They are.
They're social constructs. But this is crowd control at the end of the day. Let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, religion has its use. Some people use religion as a tome of moral reference. Right? And that's how you get through the day. It helps you bounce things off, and you go back to certain guiding principles or floor of operation or moral operation, and you can use it for that. So that, you know something, if that's the way you get through life, if that's to get through your day, I'm not going to poo-poo on that. But when you get up on here and you try to your personal idea of what God is onto everyone else,
that's the problem.
That's a problem.
Correct.
That's some colonization type shit. That's some manifest destiny type shit. That's some whitey supremacy type shit.
Correct.
I'm sorry. Some of the worst crimes against humanity have been committed because you say you don't call God what I call God, or you don't worship God in the same way I do. Or basically, your religion says, your version of Christianity says you can eat pig, and your version of Christianity says you can't eat shellfish. I'm seeing you're eating shellfish and you're eating pig. Let's fight. You know, that's what keeps happening. And it's like, I am sick and tired of this. We're in this mess as a species because of that kind of thing.
Yes.
The Crusades is one of the most bloodiest periods in mankind's history.
The
blood spilled is unbelievable. I mean, there's evidence to suggest that because of the blood spills in these kind of wars, like the mid-Atlantic slave trade, which was found in religion as well, you change weather, right? Weather has been changed due to these conflicts. For instance, like my home island of Antigua, it's a tropical island, okay? That it was tropical, lush and everything. Due to this religious-fueled mid-Atlantic slave trade, it's now like a tropical desert, brush for the most part. Extremely hot. The land there is no longer able to support human life.
Wow.
They have to import like majority of their foodstuffs. Every type of foodstuff has to be imported to that island. They have to import meats. They have to import vegetables. Very little of what they grow on the island is able to support human life. So the main industry is tourism. So they get cash, they get money. Okay? And again, I go back to the religion being part of it, because they said like, these dark-skinned people were ordained by God, tribe of Ham, to be slaves.
Right.
That is impugning your idea of God on an entire geographic region, on an entire hemisphere of the fucking planet.
Yes.
And when and another thing he's making, he's saying his idea of God is that God is perfect. What do you mean God isn't perfect? Listen, the idea, if you read the Bhagavad Gita, You read Greek mythologies. You read the Egyptian mythologies and other gods and the stories of the gods that people tell about. Those gods, very human. They do things that technically we say are sins, that are bad things. These gods covet other people's wives. These gods cheat on their wives. These gods unalive large amounts of people out of anger. Right? Even this guy's God that he talks about in the Bible, right? That this God has done things that are technically in the book that he studies. This God does things in the book that he studies that are technically wrong. The same book says thou shalt not unalive, but this same God did send, according to the book, sent the flood to basically enact a near G-side of humankind on the planet with the Great Flood. So people need to be careful using religion, as you said, to justify your hate.
Yes, 100%.
And your pride in saying the rainbow stuff is triggering the F out of them. And it's tickling me. It's making me laugh so hard. I'm just watching him. He wanted to get around to that, but he just couldn't get past it. Because
Lois tried too. The guy in the very first gentleman, he tried his damnedest too. And he finally said, "You have two men that look like they're about to embrace." And I said, "Yeah, I mean, yeah." And he said, "Tell me where the Bible it says that they can." What did he say? Tell me where in the Bible it says that two men can I don't know, bring on children and leave a legacy. And I said, "Tell me where in the Bible it says they can't. Tell me in the Bible where it says that two men should not raise children and embrace. Show me. You can't."
It's a social construct tone. That is what the Bible is. That's all it is. It's a social construct tone.
I don't know if you were here yesterday. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, say what you said.
So yesterday, my prompt was human rights are non-negotiable. And a debate me bro, similar to the last one that was just up here, wanted to define human rights and who decides what a human right is and what a human right isn't, and all of these different things, right? And he kept wanting to bring it back to defining a human right and who determines if it gets to be a law or not. And I said, this is my opinion about this. Okay. If you are someone that needs a law to define for you if someone else should have a human right, you are probably someone that doesn't respect humanity and the rights of people in general. So this doesn't apply to you. You know what I mean? Like, if you need it defined, if you need a law to tell you that each people deserve human rights, like basic human rights, then you're probably someone that doesn't respect them to start with, right? If you're someone that needs me to define for you basic human rights, you probably aren't someone that respects them for everyone. You make them conditional.
And the problem is, we're having this issue. Why people that look like you and I, Dani, constantly been fighting for generations is because the so-called majority demographic looks at us and somehow cannot see us as human beings. Right. Like they had a civil rights act they passed in post-Civil War. And these same white people, by majority, not all, just couldn't stomach us being treated the same way they were. They had to write down laws to tell the majority of white people across the country, hey, these dark-skinned hominids, they are to be treated the same way you are. Right. They are the same as you. They are human beings like you are. We had to write that down in books. We had to pass amendments to reinforce that. And then when the white people decided we just can't stomach it, they had to do it again in the 1960s again. You know what I'm saying?
But we also have to remember that when they did it in the 1860s, right? People couldn't stomach it to such a degree that they had to pass laws that divided states into districts and deploy the military to enforce it to be so. And so this is why when people say, well, why does it always have to be about race? You tell me when for Black and brown people it has ever been not about race. Tell me when it has been, because the Civil War, it was about, you made it about race. I didn't write your secession letter, bro. Like,
yes,
you wrote your secession letter, and your secession letter was about what? Slavery. It was about race. Like, why you want to? Okay, so listen. Who said that you couldn't sit at the lunch counter if you want a certain color? Because that wasn't Black people shit. We did not make where you could eat, where you could drink, what bus you could sit on, if you could sit on the bus, where in the bus you could sit. We did not make it about race. You all have made it about race forever. So if you want to know why is it always about race, ask your fucking self and your ancestors, because we do not have the answer to that question.
Yeah, and also, look at what happened to Naomi Osaka recently. And that harkens back to laws that were on the freaking books. They wrote those laws saying that 2 or more Black people could not congregate together without a whitey person being present.
Right.
They did that. This is not something Black people did. They did that shit. And to this day, I was just talking about it on a panel this morning. To this day, they can't stop themselves. Naomi Osaka is having, like, they do all quote-unquote whitey parties all the time. Okay? Nobody says, hey, why are you excluding anybody?
Who made Kamala Harris being Indian or Black about race?
They did.
Exactly.
They did.
Yeah, talking about, why is it about race? Why the fuck y'all? Why are you talking about what her race is? Why?
They did. They keep doing this shit, man. It's like it's so, and the crazy thing about it is, we could find moments to kiki about it, but it's really serious, because really and truly, because it's about race, because they cannot stomach ever treating us like equally. Mm-hmm. They are nihilistically, literally destroying the country right now. They're raising all of the institutions and the things that keep them literally alive to the ground, because they would rather suffer a little less than we do, rather than thrive alongside us. This is what, and it's about race. It's about race, and of course, back to your prompt here. It's about they think that's the way God made it. God made you Black folks slaves. God made you Black folks under us. I mean, as you said, look at the secession letter they wrote. Yeah. That shit is full of so many religious justifications for slavery now, slavery then, slavery now, slavery forever. So many religious justifications for flagrant whitey supremacy and hate.
Yep.
100%. It's held in religion, and like almost everything, like a lot of what's wrong with not just this country. Well, let's keep it with this country. A lot of what's wrong with this country harkens back to religion. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. Religion dances and hugs with white supremacy and racism for as long as this country's been a country. Because, I mean, before it was a country, when it was a bunch of colonies, religion was used to justify G-side and all kind of things. Mm-hmm. It's still being used to this day. And I am like, the information is out there, and I don't understand why people like my man that came up,
Well, because, I don't think he's even genuine. Let me just be clear.
Okay.
Yeah, that young fella, he's not genuine. He is from a particular category of people, which is fine. The only reason I even entertain people like that for any length of time is because it's for the benefit of the other people that are in the room. It's for the benefit of that conversation will have bits and pieces that are good for other people. I'm not looking for that for it to make a difference for that person that's on the panel, So that's my thought. But you got something else, Alan Boy, or you can hang out. You're always welcome to hang out because I want to get to Paul as well.
I'll be quiet. I'll just
Thank you, Fatima.
You're
not gonna be quiet, not but for a minute.
Depending if it gets spicy, I'll jump in. But you know how I do.
I do. Good afternoon, Paul. How are you?
Good morning. I've talked to you before, but my other comp got banned about a month ago, so I'm just roaming with this new name.
I got you. Yeah, TikTok
I have
is
an account warning myself too. I have an account warning too. They're going after us hard in this app now.
really.
Yeah, I have an account warning, and they are not dropping. After a certain amount of time, you don't get any violations, right?
Mm-hmm.
The violations are supposed to drop off.
Mm-hmm.
They're not dropping them off. I have a violation that's 7 months old, and it's supposed to have been dropped off in 90 days. They're not dropping them off. And I looked at their rules, and the rules haven't changed. So why aren't you dropping it off?
I don't know.
I had 176,000 followers, and they banned my account. Within 2 months, I got like 8 warnings, and I got kicked off.
Shut up.
8?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I had the account for 3 years. Yep.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
Yep.
I'm sorry, my man.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
So this is the only account that you have now?
My YouTube account, and I have my Instagram.
Well, folks, make sure you go and follow Paul real quick. I just did.
Can I add on to what you're saying about this? Because as a white guy, I think too many white people are still sitting in their damn privilege. When I hear people like Mike Johnson say this is a Christian nation, and you ask any of them with 6 teeth, what was Christian when we literally kidnapped black people on a boat and threw them into the ocean, the bull sharks and slavery and the 3/5 clause? How in the hell is that Christianity? Because what it really seems is when they say Christianity, they mean white supremacy.
Yes.
Because that's what this really is, right? And I keep saying this, that there's this misconception with white people. They're going to vote their way out of this in the midterms. You're not going to vote your way out of this. You just don't want to be financially comfortable.
Correct.
77 million Americans went to the voting booth, voted for a man that assaults women, owes her $80 million, caused an insurrection, 34 felonies, insults people, white supremacy, Epstein Island, and say, yep, that's my guy. Because they couldn't stomach the black woman. And until America just faces the reality and gets smacked in the face and they lose their farms, they're not going to wake up. They're still sitting in their privilege, living off of their breadcrumbs. And when I hear this bullshit argument like, oh, I can't afford to do anything, I'm poor. Okay, wow, I'm sorry you're poor. Black people were put in trees. They were passed down to people's wills. Their house were rent like, oh, I'm sorry, please. Let me give a shit about you because you're poor. Like, it's such bullshit, the white privilege in this country. And I know I'm a white guy saying this, but it's disgusting. The atrocities that white people have allowed for 400 years, and they're bitching about a fucking paycheck. Oh, I need money. I need money. People they're in camps right now. In camps. And we're going to hold the finals today. Literally this day over. Like, how fucked up is that as a country?
Yeah.
It's disgusting. We're just like, oh, it doesn't affect me. I'm going to work. Like, I don't know how you fix that. It's like people just don't care, and it's really sad.
I think people are going to have a really, really harsh awakening in the next 2 to 3 months. Where'd you put the little black? Where's the black charger that was over there? Exactly. It is going to get bad. And
I listened to Mr. Global. Mr. Global, oh my Lord. Mr. Global gives me heartache. Because I listen to him, I'm like, my stomach hurts.
Yeah. I mean, we are 4 weeks away from, if things continue on this path, we are 4 weeks away from China being the only country that has oil reserves and Brent crude oil being at about $150 a barrel.
I don't think a lot of people realize that once those run out, the prices are going to go way up. I don't think people even understand how bad it's going to get. They don't get it.
Mm-mm. Well, and that's also because we are maybe this one's not working. Get the other red one.
Yeah, I was like, this one is not.
You know what's bad, Paul? All of this that what really gets me is something you have to go back and hold on to this. What's happening now with the economy, financially, economically, globally, with trade and everything like that, that's causing all of these prices to spike and all of this stuff. This was not an if you can call the financial market organic. This was not let's say quote unquote organic market forces causing this. This is totally self-inflicted. This is totally 100% self-inflicted. He did not have to do the things he did.
No.
This was not necessary. There was no market, economic, substantive reason for him to do these things that he did. None.
But, but I'll say this, and maybe you can disagree with me. I actually think that this is actually needed. And I told my wife this about a year ago when I made videos. Until white people feel a fraction of what it's like to be black in this country, they're not going to give a shit. They need to suffer and lose their jobs and lose their cars and actually get on the streets and protest for somebody else. And until that happens, they're not going to change. They have to suffer and suffer and suffer until they start to give a shit about somebody else. This had to happen at some point. It just had to.
See, and here's my thing. I hear that. And then here's my thought. That in the reality of the world that we live in, then to some degree, when we say it had to happen, I would say that we are the reason. When I say we, obviously I don't mean me, but humanity is the reason that it had to happen, because we don't have to be the way that we are. You know what I mean? We don't. And so, like, right now, there are people that say, give me 1 second, Sissy, I'm almost done. There are people that say, oh, it's going to have to get so much worse before it gets better. And my thing is, it only has to get as bad as we make it, because we could turn this thing around at any point in time that we chose to. Got it? Because TikTok will get me. And so that's the part. I want us to get to I would rather get to the solution as quickly as possible and have the least amount of harm necessary to achieve that goal.
But when are we going to get to that point, Dani?
So, I can only say that and that's a great question. And so this is my thing, okay?
Because
so
we're just sitting around, and I feel like, and I was thinking about what Thomas Jefferson said, right? When tyranny becomes law, the rebellion becomes duty. And I'm not, why don't we just start a revolution? I don't know if
I can answer that for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll tell you the perfect quote. I had a friend, and it was in the Dilley Detention Center about a year ago. And I said, this is horrible. This young lady just lost her pregnancy at this camp. And she says, I'm not going to sacrifice my comfort for a stranger. And that's the best answer I can give you, because people don't care unless it affects them. As hard as it is to hear, it's true.
Well, here's the thing. I care too much. I think there are terrible people in the world. Yeah, there's some evil, terrible people, but they'll be judged. But like you said, people got to get uncomfortable. But like you said, that uncomfortable point, what point would that blow off? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, how much more uncomfortable can you get?
So here's what I think. Historically speaking, what you are saying is what it has always taken. Historically speaking, in order for us to move forward and make progress, it has only come as a result of being forced to do so, right? And okay, so I'm going to find myself doing this. I hadn't thought I was going to do this, but so here's my thing. Let me show you. So the Federalist Papers, Federalist Paper number 1, written by Hamilton, it has reminded me of the time that we are in for the last 2 to 3 years. He wants you to not chase him, okay, baby? You were gonna pet him? Yeah. I think he's being a little grumpy today. I think. My grandbaby wanting to pet the cat, and he's running to me like, I don't want to be petted right now.
I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, he's been a little grouchy today. You better be nice before I have to get the spray bottle for you, sir. Okay, but I want you all to listen. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously, but these first few paragraphs are so incredible. And It's not that the forefathers were quote unquote amazing and great and all that. It was, but sometimes the message is applicable and sometimes the message is powerful. And so listen to what he says. To the people of the state of New York, after an unequivocal experience of the inefficiency of the subsisting federal government, you are called upon to deliberate on a new constitution for the United States of America. The subject speaks to its own importance, comprehending in its consequences nothing less than the existence of the Union, the safety and the welfare of the parts of which it is composed, the fate of an empire in many respects, the most interesting in the world. It has been frequently remarked that it seems to have been reserved to the people of this country, by their conduct and example, to decide the important question whether societies of men are really capable or not of establishing good government from reflection and choice, or whether they are forever destined to depend for their political constitutions on accident and force. And if there be any truth in this remark, the crisis at which we are arrived may with propriety be regarded as the era in which that decision is to be made. And a wrong election of the part we shall act may, in this view, deserve to be considered as the general misfortune of mankind. This idea will add the inducements of philanthropy to those of patriotism, to heighten the solicitude which all considerate and good men must feel for the event. Happy will it be if our choice should be directed by a judicious estimate of our true interest, unperplexed and unbiased by the considerations not connected with the public good. But this is a thing more ardently to be wished than seriously to be expected. The plan offered to our deliberations affects too many particular interests, innovates upon too many local institutions, not to involve in its discussion a variety of objects foreign to its merits, and of views, passions, and prejudices little favorable to the discovery of truth. That's the first paragraph. There's two more that I want to talk about, but just that paragraph, Minnie G, is exactly what we're talking about. He said, we are faced with this place. And I believe that history repeats itself when we don't learn the lesson or we don't get a passing grade, right? And so I believe that we are once again in this place where are we going to ever get to a place where we choose from reflection and choice based on the public good of the people, how we live and how we exist and how we move forward? Or will it always be because of force or by accident?
Right.
Dani, can I add on to that really quick? So I got to go in a second.
Yeah.
I was in Berlin and Hamburg, Germany last month, and because my great grandfather came over in 1925 from Hamburg. When you look at all the memorials in Berlin, the Holocaust museums, the memorials, and then you go to Hamburg, and there's about 500,000 of these little bronze plaques. They're called like Stoltensteips or something like that. And basically, whenever a Jew was taken out of a house, a business, parliament, it's where the mustache man actually took them. And it goes to what you're saying, because it was really sad looking at these plaques all over the city. But I stood back and I'm like, that neighbor watched it happen. That neighbor watched it happen. That neighbor watched it happen. That's what really hit me, is kind of when you said that, it was everybody that stood by. And it reminds me of Martin Luther King, where we will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends, that evil succeeds when good people do nothing. And that's exactly what I feel like we're doing right now. We're doing nothing because it hasn't hit us yet.
So, and I think that there are some people that are in there. So let me ask you this, Paul, because it's been a minute since you've been with me, right? So have you heard about, or do you know about the project that we've initiated here on this platform? Have you heard anything? Okay.
I have not.
Okay. What about you, Minnie G? Have you heard of Project for the People at all yet?
I think I have, yes. Yeah, I was on your live one. Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So here's the thing.
And I do, so I get your emails.
Yes, I know you do. All right. So here's the thing. Because I just have this thing about trying to birth good things out of bad soil, or I think that we will always create something that will be temporary in its positivity, or will eventually come back to a negative result when we birth it out of shame or fear or guilt or hardship, right? Because it will be something that we will be forced to choose, and not something that we desire to choose, not something that we are positively engaged in for a reason, right? So here's I have a pragmatic approach that is also rooted in historical, legal, and political precedent, and lots of hope, like lots and lots and lots of hope. Because I'm one of those people. I think hope is stronger than everything. Okay. And so here's what it is. So for me, I have laid out for us a timeline that is about 2.5 years in what it would take to have it all be implemented. But at the end of that 2.5 years, to have us at a fantastic point of rebuilding and redesigning some very significant parts of our government, of our infrastructure, and of the way that we do things. And it's composed of 3 pathways, right? So one is elections, and which means getting serious about election strategy. And what I find is that the only people that are very serious about winning elections in terms of developing solid strategy are fucking conservatives. I do not see the Democrats and the Progressive Party saying this is how we fucking win, other than to say we can't let them win, which is a horrible strategy, right? Just saying. So that's number one. Number 2 is building communities through conversations that build connection, right? If we do not start having conversations that build connection within our communities, we are going to be ass out, and it will take forever. And there will be lots of suffering before we get on the other side of this. And I may or may not see it in my lifetime. I'm over 50, right? Number 3 is government accountability. And the reason government accountability is number 3 is because if we don't do the first 2, we never get to the last one, right? So those are the 3 components to Project for the People. But on the practical side of it, the pragmatic side, the timeline of it, right, is this. Okay, so we are in the middle of 2026. First things first is the next 5 months has to be about getting serious about winning the midterm elections and getting on the other side of November with a Democratic majority in both the House and in the Senate. And the Senate is a harder path, and it's still doable. Like, it is literally something that is tangibly possible if we get about the business of making it happen, right? On that note, and to that endeavor, that's okay, Paul, come back. So to that endeavor, I did a couple of different things. So one was to look at election data for the 12 states that had margins of 10% or less in 2024. And then to look at every county in those states that also shared those same slim margins, and to look at those counties that shared those 10% margins for the majority of the last 5 federal elections. So not just 1 year or 2 years, but if there were 7 or 8 elections over the last 5 years in your state, how many of those counties had margins of 10% or less for at least 5 or 6 of those elections? And then those make my list. Why? Because that's low-hanging fruit. That is where I can create the biggest impact in the smallest amount of time for people that are already engaged and that are on the border, right? And so I did that for all. And so like I have a whole big spreadsheet that has that information because I want us to be serious about elections. And then I created an entire database. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, Minnie G, but we meet tomorrow. And this is what the Google Drive looks like. So the Google Drive, when people sign up for Project for the People, they get an email. This email gives them a link. Whoops, if I could click the right damn things. TikTok be flipping stuff around. Okay, so this is the Google Drive, okay? And so if I were to ask you, Minnie G, to give me your state and your congressional district.
State resources.
Yep, what's your state?
Western New York.
And so what congressional district is that?
New York.
Got it, no worries. So give me a number out of here. Pick a district, any district. How about I just land on one?
20, 25.
All right, perfect. So this is in English and in Spanish. So what I can tell you is that in Congressional District 25 in New York, because of the One Big Beautiful Bill and the reduction in federal funding, 30,000 adults and children are projected to lose their New York Medicaid health insurance, right? I can also show you the number for SNAP is 25,000 in that district, right? I can also
This
show
is some
you.
impressive stuff she's doing here, man, guys. You listen. This is impressive.
So this is also
It's amazing.
because of the premium tax subsidies that have expired. This is an additional 28,000 that are going to become uninsured because they can't afford them, right? Now, follow me. So what I've done is do all of these graphics and more, because you might be engaged in a conversation and somebody say, well, people are just sitting on Medicaid and they're not actually doing anything. Well, I can actually go down here to New York State statewide graphics, and I can show you that in the state of New York, 71% of the adults that are on Medicaid already do work. And 54% of the adults with disabilities also work. But there's all kinds of these. So I've been doing these graphics. Why? Because this part is for the communities and conversations. This part, and so this weekend, we're having another weekend of action where we will go out into our communities, whether we're knocking doors in our neighborhoods, whether we're having brunches with our friends, whether we're going to our libraries, our community centers, our farmers markets, our flea markets, our college campuses, to hand out this type of information and then invite people to come along with this. This isn't about telling you who to vote for. It's about telling you what's happening to you and your people. The other part of it is this potential legislation. And so this was passed in Hawaii. This will actually limit the Citizens United, right? This is about limiting artificial persons, right? The powers of artificial persons. Hawaii signed it into law. So what I've done is I've given this to people so you can download it yourself. And then I've actually given you a sample petition to go around in your community and get 100 signatures at a minimum. If you just download these 5 pages, that's 100 people. Boom, right? And all you got to do is put your state here. Now, imagine this is how this works. If you're in, for example, if you are in North Carolina. So this is where we are right now. This is how many people that have joined. As of, I haven't updated the map for tomorrow. You will have a new updated map tomorrow. But follow me. In North Carolina, we have people in 31 counties. Well, North Carolina only has 100 counties total. So that means we have at least one person in 1/3 of the counties in that entire state. So what happens if one person in every county gets 100 signatures supporting legislation that gets rid of Citizens United in the state of North Carolina? And then all of a sudden you send a copy of the signatures along with the legislation, and you send it not only to your state legislature, but you also send it to your state media, your local media outlets, and you all do it collectively, because guess what? I've actually created a link where everybody is, let me see if this is the one or not. Yeah, so see this? So everybody is getting connected together. So I'm making one that's accessible. This is not the one. This is what happens when you have 50,000 spreadsheets and you're me. But nope. Maybe it's this drive.
For this, though, Dani.
You're welcome. Okay, see this?
Good idea.
So you see this? So what happens is this, everybody, it's locked, but this is going out in the email today. So if I'm in Indiana or if I'm in New York, I will have the name, the email address, and the county of everybody that's part of this so that we can connect together. So imagine.
Right now, I'm on my computer right now.
Are you? So imagine what happens when we all start to do this, and then you make it. So that's the communities and conversations part. But then here's the part where it gets really, really, really good. So remember that data? This is what the data looks like when you apply it. So this is Michigan, for example. Michigan had a margin of 80,000. Well, 16 counties in Michigan had margins of 10% or less for the majority of the last federal elections over the last 5 years, right? So in these 16 counties alone, 47,000 people voted third party. That is 59% of this deficit with just 16 counties. And in these 16 counties, 1.1 million people registered to vote, didn't even vote.
Yeah.
Right? Out of these 16 counties, 4 of them are in House District 1, which is typically a 60-40 district. I want you to keep in mind that Dems are performing at plus 13. Okay. So I take that 20, I do a plus 13, I'm down to 7, right? Well, in just 4 counties that were in this 16 that are in this House district, 53,000 people either voted third party or didn't vote at all. And that's 53% of this deficit. And I did this for all the states, right? So this is a very pragmatic. Now you get the idea. The idea is I'm telling you who to go talk to. I'm giving you tools and resources for what you want to talk to them about. I'm not arguing about Democrats and Republicans. It's a very data-driven approach so that people can get past the culture wars and start talking about the real issues, right? And then this is the part where I get really excited about, because this is where you have to paint the picture for people of what's truly possible. And this is, so listen to what's possible. What is the mechanism that the Republican Party used to strip federal funding from SNAP and Medicaid, and to take our funding from our education system and give it to the Department of Labor, or to give ICE a shit ton of money? What mechanism did they use to do that? Budget reconciliation, right?
Reconciliation. Yeah.
So why can't we use it to put it back?
Why can't we use it for the back? Of course you can.
Of course you can, in 1 year.
That's the thing that they want us to make us feel like we're powerless, and fear controls people. You know what I mean? But
except hope does better than that, right? So watch this.
Exactly.
So listen to this timeline. So now you'll get me excited because you actually get it, and that gets me excited. Okay, so listen. Imagine when you tell people that this is what is actually possible. That 1 year from now, we could take that money back from ICE and we could put it into the people. We could take that money, and all of a sudden people could have their SNAP benefits and their Medicaid, and people could have access to be able to afford their premiums, because it is a real mechanism that has been utilized just a year ago, right? At a point when people need it the most. Then on top of that, so now that takes me into the middle of 2028. Now, the other thing that's happening at the same time is we are working diligently to find progressive populist candidates that challenge the establishment folks. And I don't give a shit if they're establishment Democrats or if they are establishment Republicans. If they are establishment, let's primary them, right? And follow me. Primaries is the time for your personal preference. Whoever you fall in love with and you think aligns with you just like that, that's who you vote for in the primaries. And if your person loses, you vote for whoever the fuck won and beat your person, okay? And the reason, because general elections are about core values. But the general election is not about the person that shares the most of your core values. The general election is about the person who has the least of your core values, and ensuring that they do not get control of or main control of our Congress, right? And our presidency.
I wish people understood that, Dani. It's like they hate when you, because like what you're describing there
Mimi
is something they hate.
We gotta get groceries.
They hate when you say the lesser of two evils.
I don't like harm reduction bullshit. I don't like lesser of two evils. And so I have to frame it in a way that people understand. Now follow me. Yeah. So here we are. I'm almost finished with the timeline. Listen to this timeline. So number one, this year, we get on the other side of November, and we have a progressive majority, Democratic progressive majority in the House and in the Senate. So come 2027, yes, we have a strategy. So we have I literally wrote the whole damn document. So listen, so in 2027, this is what happens next. We hit January of 2027 with a majority in the House and the Senate. We use budget reconciliation. And by this time next year, we are giving this stuff back to the people. And at the same time, we are preparing for the second half of 2027, which is where we get to do our first round of government accountability. That first round of government accountability is not about the president of the United States. It's about the worker bees. It's about the Dr. Oz's and the RFK Juniors and the Todd Blanches and the Christy Gnomes and the Pam Bondys and the Linda McMahons, right? You go after those people. And here's what's amazing about that. The reason you go after those people is because you now have the Senate majority, which means they can't just nominate whoever the fuck they want and get them in. Ha ha ha. So you fix the head of the cabinets because they can't do anything about it. You have the Democratic majority in the Senate. They cannot do a damn thing about it, right? So
really quick,
yeah.
I'm sorry, is Linda McMahon, is she that freaking wrestling woman?
Yes.
Isn't she married to Vince McMahon?
Yes.
Dated a bunch of superstars. Oh my God.
Yes, and that's who's over the Department of Education.
She's the Department of Education?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes, and yes. Yes. Now,
Impeach her and remove.
right. And so here's the part. So now in 2027, guess what we've done? We've given people access to healthcare again. We've given people access to their SNAP benefits again. We've gotten rid of horrible people because there's enough evidence out there to show that they have violated their oaths of office, that they have violated the Constitution, that they have even broken laws for some of them. And you get them impeached and removed because they are just the cabinet. And guess what? The base has no loyalty to those folks. If you go after Trump, you solidify their base. Fuck that. Leave his diaper wearing ass right where he's at. I'm going after the people that are implementing this shit at a cabinet level, because that's how I can protect people the most. Okay. So then when I go into the beginning of 2028 and it's time, we are getting ready for the presidential election. We do a move that I call Mitch McConnelling them motherfuckers. Okay. And so what you do at this time, because you have the majority in the House and the Senate, you expand the court. And you expand the court and you get it done by the midway point of 2028. So we have 13 justices, one for every district, and it's too late for the existing administration to appoint anybody to it. And you have control of the Senate. So even if they tried, they can't get anybody fucking through. So then you go on and you win in 2028. And you have a Democratic progressive president. You have the progressive populace, the majority in the House and in the Senate. And when we walk into 2029, we do the second round of government accountability. And this one I love. This is when we go after fucking Uncle Clarence and Alito. And we impeach and remove their asses from the fucking court. Hands down. And once we impeach and remove them from the court, we now have a president with 4 fucking years to appoint 6 justices to a court of 13. That, my friends, is Project for the People.
Don't.
That's my plan. We have t-shirts and gear. Hold on, I'm going to show you real quick. Thank you to Sandy and Veronica. This part I can't take any credit for.
What Danny's talking about, the Republicans did during President Obama's time. I remember Glenn Beck and these
See our
people.
t-shirts?
Oh, that's nice. Yes.
And there's our QR code on the back.
I believe it. I was when Obama was in office. I was 12, 13. So I
You were a baby.
remember that.
So
Yeah,
I know.
You're young. You're young compared to the both of us. But like,
You guys are
I
young
remember.
too, though. You guys are young. Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad. You feel that.
okay, so
I'm just saying.
Hey,
You know,
Steph.
they celebrated scalping President Obama's
ACA.
cabinet members and agency heads and stuff. Because President Obama's name was No Drama Obama. But anybody that they make enough noise about, President Obama would kind of ask them to leave so he can go back to focusing on stuff. He didn't want to be dealing with.
He couldn't afford to.
He couldn't afford to deal with that, but that's what they did. They would scalp his people, you know. They would get rid of his people, you know, and so on. That unjustly, they would make up lies, and the lies they would make up would go viral.
Yes.
You know, and the noise would be so deafening, like he couldn't focus on what he needed to do.
Yes, baby.
And one of the things that really, like, it was a low point for me, and to this day I think about it. They made so much noise about his birth certificate, and the fact that he actually presented his long form really infuriated me. Because he shouldn't have to do any of that stuff.
I don't understand why they did that.
But to see, again, this is what Dani's talking about when we need to primary the establishment. The establishment stood by and let that shit happen. The establishment didn't go after the Republicans fiercely enough to shut that shit down, to make it politically untenable for them to do so. The establishment sat back and largely let President Obama defend and talk for and fight for himself. Meanwhile, they were Johnny on the spot, ready to go to bat for when Bill Clinton was in office. They were ready to, I mean, I'm going way back there. You were like a real baby, like a kid during Bill Clinton's time, you know.
His ass wasn't born. What do you mean? He was 10 in 2008.
Yeah, he's just barely born. He's barely on a baby. You know,
What year was that?
Clinton was.
It was 92 to 2000. So that's before you were born.
Yes.
When Clinton died in 97, I was just born, so I was 3 when he left office.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
myself, I was in college during Bill Clinton's time. So I was college age during Bill Clinton's time. And Dani, I think you're a little older than I am.
I'm 53.
Oh no, you're only a year older. Please, we both were in college. We're in college in that.
I was in the military.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of wish I was.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of wish I was in that era. That had to be so fun. I hear people talk about that, like that, just the 90s and 80s stars.
Gen X is.
Yeah, we're a whole different breed. But I just want to tell people.
No.
I just want to tell people really quickly. If you go to my bio, my link tree is in there. The very first link in my link tree is this link. This is how you sign up. This is how you get merch. And then this is the flyer that you can share with people so that they can also join up as soon as it loads, because I have a bajillion. But this is it. And then we have it in English and in Spanish and all the 9. We will meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was supposed to get out an email last night. It did not happen. It will go out today because I have no choice. But listen, here's the one thing that's very, 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 very important, people, is when you get these links and these invitations, do not share the link to the Google Drive with anyone. You share the link, and there's a reason, you share the link for them to join. And the reason why is I'm collecting everybody's geographical data so that we can organize and strategize. If you just willy-nilly share the link to the drive, I don't know that we have people in that county. I don't know how much power we have in a particular region. So not sharing the drive is incredibly important, and keeping just sharing the flyer and sharing where people can sign up is the most important thing. And then on our days of action, that's when we share the rest.
I'm looking for your email later today.
Yep.
And I'll put it on. I'll see if I can log on and we can do I think it's on by Zoom, right? I think it is.
I do it by Google Meet. Mm-hmm.
Google Meet, yeah. I have that app. I'm good.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you think, Minnie G? Because you said we're all just sitting around, and we're definitely not over here.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And so this is the part I want people to understand what's possible. I don't want to. Yeah.
You know, like what Dani's doing, like that is an essential part of what must be done. But we also need to really dissect and understand all we got here, because we cannot work in a vacuum. And Dani does a lot of education on her shows. We educate you on how we got here, how to educate you on strategy, on what they're doing, and how this fits together. And that's important. And I find a lot of time in this age, people have they can't pay attention long enough to really get to imbibe the information she's trying to put out to you.
Yeah, it's baby steps, really.
I know.
And also,
I'm
can
fine
everyone
with
make
that.
sure to send the host their heart news? Everyone send the host the daily heart news. Thank you.
Really
Thanks for
quick,
watching.
but thank you guys. I do have to go,
Yeah,
but I will check that out. But thank you all.
love that. Yeah,
I
you're
gotta
absolutely.
drop down soon,
Appreciate you.
I gotta drop
I
down
know it
soon,
sounds like a lot, but those heart me's are just one coin, and they do a lot. There we go. Good job, Eve. Good job. Everyone send in those daily heart me's. I got 356 people. I want to see 356 heart me's right now. Keep it going. This host is here. She's queer, and you're gonna send her some heart me's. Understood? All right, let's keep it going. Keep it going.
Appreciate
That's
it.
all I like to
Logical. Your old how to heart. All it is, Jack Daddy, is see this little red heart that's up here. You click that, and that's what sends the daily heart me. And then after you send it, if you actually click it again, you can claim points. I love that, Jumanji. And so listen, you guys. My whole thing was we sit on this app all the time, all these apps, and people are like, "What can we do about what's happening? What can we do? What can we do?" And I didn't see anybody with a tangible, like, okay, here's what we can do. And so I took the time to write the project. I started writing it at the end of January of this year, and I shared it with people for the first time March 8th. And now that we're here, And it's growing to the degree that it is because we are in 48 states, by the way, folks. And I'll update the counties before tomorrow, but 446 counties. And I just want to put that in perspective. There are only 3,100 counties in the entire country. That means we have at least one person in like 15% of the country's counties in just 11 weeks, right? So the idea is to continue to grow. And so now what's happening is we're going to get people who want to kind of be like my little whatever you want to call it, co-captains in different states to coordinate different things. We're also hosting, let me tell you about this because this makes me excited too, is let's just say that you have folks in your area and you can organize a little town hall at your community center. You can organize an in-house party. We call them Project for the People parties. But if you get 10 people or more together, you can message Sandy, Cam, Witch, or LaRonica, and they will let me know that you have a party of 10 people together and you will host it and I will join you virtually and we will go over the data for your specific area. We will role play how to have conversations. We will talk about how to implement this specifically for where you are so that we can move things forward. And so that's the idea. And that's how we continue to grow between now and 5 months. We meet every other Thursday for now. And then come the middle of August, we will start to meet every single Thursday because it will become time to scale. And so when we get to September and October, it'll be time to really be working as hard as possible to reach as many people as possible. And the thing that I really cannot stress enough is do not talk about the current president of the United States. Do not use terms like maggots and don't talk about people voting against their own best interest or being dumb or he likes dumb people. None of that's beneficial. Nobody wants to join your team if you think that they are ignorant and dumb. That's just not cool, right? And all of us have fallen for the okie doke. All of us
And
have.
also, don't be anti-Semitic.
Right. So
Jewish people are your friends. We're your friends. We're not your enemies. Stop believing all those lies. Well, I am Jewish, so also Christian by choice, Jewish by force.
yeah. So this is what I tell people all the time. There's a difference between being Jewish and being a Zionist. They are not the same thing. And so it's important for people to know. I appreciate you. It's important for people to know where you stand on issues. This isn't about right now. You're just about sharing information that impacts people. You're about building a relationship at this moment. And then the whole idea is if you spend the next 3 months, 4 months talking about issues and building connection, when it comes time to vote, you'll be able to connect the issues and connection with candidates. Come here. What's the matter? You died in the game. Is it a new game that you're just learning? Yeah. So listen, when we start new games, we might die at first, but the more that you play it, you'll get better at it and then you won't. And remember, what did we say last time? When you die, what does that mean somebody else gets to do?
But I always die.
Yeah, but 2 is not always. It's just the beginning. So listen, everybody wants to win, right? But if you win every time, that means somebody else has to lose every time, right? Yeah. So you'll win. Keep practicing. Y'all, she is intense. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, whatever sport she plays in life, I'm just telling you right now, we be working through the big emotions because the girl does not like to lose.
How old is she?
She's just turned 5.
I have a 6-year-old and he complains like he's doing something. He's like, I can't get it done. Can't get it done. Like, or he's using his iPad. It's like, the iPad died again.
Yes. It's super intense. But when I tell you she does not like to lose, she does not like to lose, people. She does not like to lose. And so
that's a good tribute. That's a good thing. Actually.
Yeah. So, but I just remind her too that everybody feels like that. Most of us don't like to lose. And the thing about it is if I don't lose sometimes, somebody else can't win. You know what I mean? So yeah, these are my grandbabies. Yeah, this is my youngest grandbaby. Okay, Mila, then choose a different game, sis. Take a break and then come back to that one. Take a break and then come back to that one. And if you don't want to, and listen, hey, listen. listen, we might want to take a break from technology if you want. If you want to get your markers and your new coloring books that you got for graduating pre-K, you can color outside on the balcony if you want, by the garden. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, so all of those things are important. So that's a little bit about project for the people, folks. Is she sleepy? The answer is hell yes. She woke up earlier than she should have today. And that's a little bit of a challenge. So yeah. Yeah, King of Mercy, the balance is it's whatever it is. What time is Pally panel? Probably close to right now, Carla. Give me 10 minutes. Hey, Mimi, come here. Okay, then listen. Hold on.
If everyone could repost the live, post it to your story, give all the panelists a follow, and if you're not following the host, make sure you do. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. And look, I got your stuff arrived. Go get your favorite things out of there. Okay. All right. Okay. So, folks, a couple things. Let me level.
Dani?
Yes.
Dani, you could drop me down, all right?
Okay.
I gotta run.
I got you. Appreciate you,
Thank you
Island.
so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll talk to your emails later.
Okay. Sounds good.
Got you. Yep.
All right. Give me your Ziploc bag, babe. Okay. So for everybody else that's in here, a couple of things are going to happen. We are, no. So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to get ready to have a Pally panel, which means our friends that are in Gaza are going to join. And if you, no, see, I haven't. And if you have the ability and desire to do so, then you can absolutely throw some coins that way. Catalyst, I was coming to you. So if you want to request back up, go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do, though, is continue the conversation while folks are on the panel. What's up, Harold? So we're going to, as soon as I kind of put this up, I'm going to have Jack Dad join the conversation. And then Illogical, here you go, Sissy. We'll join the conversation. Yeah. So Noor, I'm getting ready to open the panel. What I need is to just keep kind of doing the regular show. Here, Mila. While we do this, okay? Yeah, Scotty, I got it.
So real quick, Dani, that's why I came to talk to you, because I respect your work, and I'm an advocate for quite a few communities. The thing that I've been working on is essentially, it's kind of new, but it's going to be called kind of anti-Semitism for Palestine. It needs a better, catchier word than that. It's like a Pally Live, but it's also, I really want to focus on the fact that the anti-Zionism movement is bleeding into and encouraging anti-Semitism. There's creators such as, you don't want to say his name, the little guy who said, her body, my choice, Nicholas, he's a little scumbag. He's very anti-Semitic pushing. There's a lot of alt-right young men who are becoming anti-Semitic, and it's dangerous for young Jewish women, and less well-off Jewish men probably as well. But, I'm, like I said, Christian by religion. I'm not even Jewish by anything other than the fact I was born this way. And I still deal with it a lot on this app and in real life. And it's one of those things where I don't support what's happening in Palestine, but I've been called a Palestine or a Zionist multiple times.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened because you just got a restriction.
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I don't think I said anything wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It just asked me if I wanted to remove you. But go ahead.
I just would like to be contributing to your team. I mod for a lot of people. I run my own lives. Mostly I debate abortion and trans women or women, stuff like that. And then I want to get more into like, hey, Jewish people also support the Palestinian refugees, and nobody likes G side, right? So not all Jewish people. I need to catch your thing. We're still working on it, but we'll get it if you have any recommendations. But that's kind of my spiel. I'm a blue goat. I don't have really a party, but I would be more blue, but definitely not a Trump person. But I don't like people that sit there and just hate on the Trump voters because, they kind of got tricked into voting for the guy. He's a salesman. He's a swindler. So We can't just hate everybody and it makes us look just like them, because I don't know. I like people that are chill, and I've watched you for a long time, so just wanted to come up here and kind of hang out. Also, I'm pretty good at helping run live, so if you ever need any help, I'd be willing to do so absolutely free of charge.
Gotcha. Yeah, everything that we do around here is free. I don't get paid by anybody to do it, and I definitely don't pay anybody else to do it. But yeah, so here's what I'm gonna do. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna respond to you. What I'm gonna do is, because it's dropping on numbers by 60 because you got the restriction. I'm gonna drop you down, but you can come back in 10 minutes. That way the algorithm can reset.
Okay.
Okay. So a couple of things that I'll say to address kind of everything that he just said. I think that it's important that we acknowledge what are the drivers of anti-Semitism and what aren't, right? And that being pro-Palestine is not by default indicative of being anti-Jewish in any way, shape, or form. And I think that one of the things that is hurting the Jewish community is the push by the conservative side of the house that those two things are connected. The more that you say being pro-Pally or being anti-Zionist is being anti-Jewish, that creates a problem. And so I think it's really important that we're clear on what those things are and what they are not. And so I missed something. I think it's very, very important, you all, that we do not use language that is absolute. So not everyone, quote unquote, got tricked into voting for Donald Trump, and not everyone just didn't get tricked, right? There are so many different places of intersectionality for people that voted for Trump. I had a conversation with Lev Parnas back when I was still on X, on Twitter. And I said, correct me if I'm wrong. This is before the 2024 election. And I said, correct me if I'm wrong, Les. I said, but what it seems to me is there's all of these different pockets of people that have their own agenda, and they support him because of their agenda, regardless of the other agendas that also support him. And sometimes those agendas don't all agree with each other. And he said, absolutely. And I think that you're seeing that when you see people like Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who are 100% America first and very anti-Israel first in this country, right? I think you're seeing that with the big tech bros and the big tech pro billionaires. And I think you're seeing that with the folks that are anti-LGBTQIA and anti-Black. And so they've all found their little niche of hatred that allows them and that gives them a reason to support for the current administration, but they don't always agree with each other. And that is what has caused such a divide and such a chasm within that movement, which is fantastic, because if progressives take advantage of that chasm and do it through community building and through a conversation building and through building connection, then we can actually make use of that and have something productive come about. Okay. So that's what I would give you. I'm not sure, Dwayne, who you mean has no choice. Yeah. So Jack, you wanted to say something real quick before I open up the panel?
Yeah, I did. I actually wanted to, a statement off of what Island King?
Island Boy Pundit. Yeah.
Thank you. It was off of something that he had said that kind of struck me. And I kind of had like a statement of what had struck me, because I wanted to ask you a question, if that was okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So, I'm going to generalize. I'm not quoting, but what struck me was when he was talking about how religion is then used as a tool, not just the idea of God, but the system of religion, and how it has been moved into a tool for people to control others. And then I think his name was Paul had brought up George Floyd right after that, so I had wrote it down because I didn't want to miss what you were talking about, and I ended up writing notes about your website and all that. But anyway. What I was getting at was Paul was discussing how he was very upset and very, he wasn't understanding why, like, the YT population is not either joining or accepting what is happening in the system.
Mhm.
And so basically that I'm just giving the premise so that my statement makes sense. So when the George Floyd incident happened, it was a turning point for me because when I was watching it, you could see the crowd yelling at the officer to turn around, begging him to turn around and to help George. But he had like this blind faith that the cop was in the right and the man on the ground was a criminal and was wrong. Like he would not turn around. He just would not. People were begging and he would not. And that moment was when I compared it to a lot of white people and they're not understanding of privilege and oppression because they refuse to turn around. And it's like they would have to accept that they are still participating and benefiting from a system, even if they were not around when it was created. And I think that is a huge divide that a lot of white tea people do not understand. That by saying you have this privilege is merely saying that you are not carrying the weight of the oppression. It isn't saying anything about your life experience or any hardships in your life. And I think that block stops people from turning around and seeing what is happening and becoming a part of it. And so my question to you is, how do you calmly, because I end up not being calm, how do you calmly explain to somebody that what you are experiencing is privilege and what you are benefiting, you're purely benefiting minimally by not carrying the weight of oppression? And you are a part of that system if you are not trying to stop that system. And because we are not acknowledging that we are all affected by each other and we are oppressing different categories of people, we are weakening our own system because it's going to affect everybody. If you harm your neighbor, you are harming yourself. And I don't understand how people have that separation of you and us. Like how to break down that barrier of understanding that harming you is harming me.
Yeah, I don't think that is something that you do intellectually. So I think that you build down the barrier, or you tear down the barrier by building connection. Period. It's why I say all the time, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. And so when I'm having conversations with people, tearing down their barrier is not my goal.
Okay.
I'm not, there's no agenda that I have to win you over or to change your mind. My focus is on always listening for connection. I'm listening for that commonality. I'm listening for the opportunity to connect with each other. I am listening for that thing where I see me and you will see you and me. And now all of a sudden we have something in common and we can go from there. That's the place that I'm always listening from. And what I would offer to people is remember that no one wants to be sold, and no one wants to be told you need to change, you got it wrong. I want you to think about when you go shopping. You can go to the store knowing good and damn well you have to leave that store with an outfit because it's what you need. And the minute you are in that store and you are approached by a sales associate and they say, "Can I help you find something?" What do you say?
No,
I'm good. No, and good and damn well, you need something.
You're not asking me if you could help me. That's the thing, though.
Well, but maybe they are. But what you hear is, you just want to sell me something.
Yeah.
But maybe they are. That is, after all, their job, right?
Right.
And so by default, that is the way that human beings work. So what I say to people is stop trying to tell people how to change. Stop trying to convince people that they're wrong. Start listening to people and listening for the places of connection, listening for the places of common ground and similarity. I am never responsible for what someone does with the information that I give them. Like, people will say, but what if they never change? Not my business. I'm only responsible for the energy and the effort that I bring to the conversation. That's all I'm responsible for. And if I feel like, and this is true for the vast majority of times, and I would say that's 75 to 80% of them in my world, the people that I talk with there is an opportunity for change. There is an opportunity for reaching an understanding, even if you don't get agreement. And for those people, I have the patience of a saint. We can have all types of discussion. I've got time in the world. For the other 15 to 20%, it depends on what day you get me as to what you get, but you will get something. Sometimes it might be the other folk. You might get what they get, and sometimes you might get cussed the fuck out. It just depends.
Right.
But that's also because I'm a human being, and so I don't have all times and all ways for all people at all times, and I know that too. And I'm not beating myself over. Appreciate Edith. I'm also not shaming myself or beating myself up over the head in those moments either, because again, human being. So that's what I would say, is that I'm not looking for how do I change people or how do I make them do anything. I'm looking for how can I connect? Where do I see myself in them? And where could they see themselves in me? Because the reality is this: if we create understanding, even if I don't agree, when I have understanding, I am less likely to harm you, and I am less likely to support something that would harm you. Yeah.
Right. That's that whole tribalism. Yeah, I understand that.
And so what that requires is just connection and understanding. Whether there's agreement or not is really not relevant.
That's fair. I feel like that is definitely something that I run into and I see other people run into.
Yeah.
So I figured I would ask you because you seem very self-disciplined. I had to think about the way I said that. I usually write down what I say before I say it.
Yeah.
I try to be very particular with the words, kind of like earlier about the relating religion with the anti-Sem. Like, you don't want those two to be interchangeable. So I try to be very particular with my wording. But there are people who do catch me off guard, and it's like, what did you just say? That cannot be a reality for you. And I sometimes do lose it. So I did want to ask, like, and I guess I should be looking at it different, but I have since George looked at it as, how do I get you to want to turn around and to see? Because I feel like I can't get somebody to see something they don't want to. And I'm sick of when we get pulled over 13 times and you're finally crying because you understand. I'm done with teachable moments.
Yes.
Personally.
So for me, I can never be done with a teachable moment.
Like,
I can't.
That's just where I'm at, I guess.
So let me ask you a question. Are you white?
I am mixed, actually.
Okay, so you're biracial.
Yes, I'm biracial.
Okay. Are you white passing or are you black presenting?
I am white passing.
Okay.
I am not white coded. Because I know people have told me that I'm white coded, and I am not. I am the lightest of my siblings. And so I do get people who mistake me for different ethnicities, usually something along Somalian. But I guess that's why I have such an anger issue, because a lot of YT people come around me and feel comfortable until they see my family members or I announce that this is not a safe space for you to have your hate speech.
Yeah. So what I would say is that the reason why I immediately ask you, are you white or are you white passing, right? Or black presenting? The reason why I ask that question is just listening to your language. Thanks, Jen. I figured that you were either white or white passing. And just in terms of just listening to you, because, well, let me ask you a question. What was it about George? So white coded anger is characteristics or behaviors that display your Eurocentric traits, experiences, culture norms, right? So does she write? Does she talk? Does she live a life in a way that presents as white passing? So for example, I am racially ambiguous. And what's crazy is like this computer right here has a funky camera that makes me literally 3 shades lighter than I am than I really am. So like the computer, if you're watching me on YouTube or Substack or Twitch or any of those, I look much lighter than I truly am. This computer does whatever, right? But most of the time, if I'm out in public, I do not pass for a white woman. People might not always know exactly what I am, but what they definitively know that I am not is 100% white. And my mannerisms, my language, and the way that I present, my characteristics, my verbiage, none of that is Eurocentered, right? Eurocentric in nature. And so if I had not asked, and we'll just ask the chat, if I had not asked her if she was white or white passing, would you all have thought she was black or white until I asked her?
I'm not a woman.
Oh, sorry. I didn't ask. I just saw the daddy and then I heard your voice. And so I didn't know. People on TikTok, I never know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, and what's your pronouns?
I'm a he, they.
He, they? Okay, got you. So they would have said white, right? And so that's why I asked the questions.
Which I understand. I grew up in a predominantly white area, and because I was white passing, I got put into a white school. So it makes sense for me, and I don't deny that. And I think because of that, I have perspective that my siblings don't have, because people don't openly say that. People do not assume that I am black, but they do know I'm not 100% white. So
yeah,
thank you for that. And like, thank you for the perspective.
Yeah, and I think also what Cam said was important is you said, how do I get white people to turn around? And typically that's not something that black people say. Black people aren't working to turn the necks of white folk.
That's fair.
Yeah, right. And so that was that's what perked my interest in terms of that. Because I don't know about most black people that I know understand that black people don't get white people to do anything. So getting white people to understand racism, the impacts of racism and all of that is up to other white people. Like it's literally never, I am never stressing myself out on how to get white people to understand racism.
That's fair.
Yeah, like never. And so, I guess what piques my interest is like, why was that something?
Assalamu alaikum, sister Dani.
Hey, Noor. Why was that something that you felt was kind of your responsibility?
Because I have the opportunity to do it, because I am white passing. And because when people see me, they see white. As long as they don't see me around my family, I can pass as completely white. And I feel like I have a door to a world that my siblings don't have. So that's why I feel that way. Because if my sister walks into the same room as me, like when you were talking about shopping, if I go shopping alone, I go in, I get the stuff, I buy it, I leave. Nobody asks me if I need help. If I go in with my sister, I'll be asked if we need help 3 or 4 times. I'll be watched at the self-checkout, and then we'll be the only ones asked to stop to check the receipt. So I see these differences in my own experiences when I'm alone and when I'm with my family. And I feel just for myself, I feel like I am in a doorway that white people might actually listen to me because I look and sound like them. But I don't have all of the experiences as them. And I know they're not going to listen to my sister because they're going to be a us and them.
So,
am I making sense?
Well,
I don't know if I'm speaking correct. I
hear you. I hear you. No, you're speaking just fine. I think so. Here would be my when I think about like what would make you have an advantage in being on the inside is the fact that you are white passing. I get that. Salam Abu Malik. I get that piece. I think the part that I don't get is because here's what I see in this exchange, kind of based on what you were saying, is you said they are comfortable around you, so they tend to say lots of different types of things in your presence, and then it is revealed to them that you aren't white, and so then
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yes, fired up for God. Yes, their pronouns are he and they. Correct. Yes. So what happens then? When they discover that you are biracial and are just white passing? So like, what happens from that point forward typically?
Really, they act differently, but the type of experiences I'm speaking of is like a store where I'm seeing the same cashier and I become like a regular. They get comfortable and they say something sideways and it'll catch me off guard, and it's like, where did this come from? Or I'll be in public and I hear people saying things openly that are very racially loaded, and they don't stop or quiet down as I'm by them. But I notice those same types of people saying the same things get quieter when I'm with my family. So it's like people are aware of their presence, so they're quiet.
And then bring them back.
But I can walk through and I'm nobody. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what happens after that moment traditionally? Yeah, just take them because your mom can take.
But I'm also old.
Your mom can.
So
Yeah, just take them with you and then
change. So are you asking like?
So I'm asking like, give me an example of like what happens afterwards, right? Okay. So yeah, so like after they say something untoward and then they become aware that they are not the same things, and or that you are not that you are biracial. I guess I'm asking like what happens after that.
The interactions usually don't last longer than that, because once you have outed yourself to me, you're no longer in like my circle. And if you say something like that to me in a store, I'm going to confront you and shut you down immediately. So there's usually not anything after that. I stop going to those places usually. Mm-hmm. I don't feel comfortable. There's like this moment of shift. I don't know how to explain it, but mm-hmm. There's a shift of energy. There's a shift of attitude. There's a shift of the way they talk. It's almost like I have betrayed them, and it's weird.
So I hear you. I think oh my gosh, TikTok.
I'm not by any means trying to offend anybody. I felt
I don't think you are. I don't think you're. I don't feel like you're offending anybody. Is somebody saying something that makes you think that?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just pointing out that with my language, I don't
Yeah.
know if I offended anybody with my language.
No, I don't think so. And I think,
that.
yeah. And so I think this is why I'm saying is because nothing typically happens, not nothing, but because most of the conversations don't go much further than that, that would be to me another indicator that that's another reason why it's not your role to fix it, right? Because what's happened in that moment is once they've been in that relationship and they have had that familiarity and they feel like they've now been seen, like they feel like you now know who they are, and they are, whether they are embarrassed by it, whether they are ashamed of it, whether they are whatever, it's difficult to walk somebody through or make progress once somebody feels like they have now been seen for who they are, and now there's this shame or this guilt around it, right? And so for me, I think I would be looking for the opportunities that happen before that, right? So if this were me and I'm thinking I'm white passing, and I would hear someone say something, I wouldn't even correct them based on the fact that I'm biracial. I would correct them and allow the asses to think I'm white. Like if that's the road that I'm in, if how I'm moving through life is as a white passing person, and someone says something to me or says something around me that is racist or bigoted or whatever, rather than saying to them, so just do 15, Sandy, rather than saying to them, you know, who my siblings are or what this looks like or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I would, especially if they're not my friends, right? Because to me, my friends are going to know I'm biracial. Does that make sense? To me, my friends are going to know. And so for me, I don't feel the need to clarify anything different for anybody else. But so, and so for the other folks, okay, the way that I would correct them as is as the white passing individual they believe me to be.
I will say, like in public, it's not like I go into a store. I just want to clarify that there are two different scenarios. But if I go into a store and somebody says something, it's not like, oh, you can't say this to me, I'm biracial. It's, oh, you can't say that. This, or not, you can't say that. It's, did you really say that? Why did you say that? Why did you feel you could say that? So in those moments, it's not like I'm like, I'm biracial. It's not those moments where I'm like exposing myself for being biracial. I'm just exposing myself as not being safe. But I will say, when that does happen, I do go home and I do get a hold of my family and I'm like, don't go there. It's not safe there. But when it comes to a scenario where they run into my family and they find out we're related, and then they want to come to me and be like, why didn't you tell me? It's not my business to tell you. Or if it does come up, then I'll tell you. It's not something that I really advertise because I feel like it's something that I don't need to explain. It just is. My dad is black. My mom is white. I ended up with no toner. I'm not apologizing for what I am. I'm trans. I'm not apologizing. I'm old. I'm not apologizing. But I do feel like I do have a perspective of having the privilege of being able to go outside and be white. And I do have these conversations with my daughter because she is not white passing. Because we go outside, I am white. We go outside, even though she's light skinned, she is not white. And she has to understand that there is a safety issue because of that. Just where we live. We moved from Flint into a predominantly white neighborhood, and I do not I don't trust that as a safe area. So I'm very tight knit with my family. So it's not something that I advertise that I'm biracial, but I do advertise that I'm not a safe space. And I am trying to work on it. That's why I asked you the question to begin with, because I'm trying to stop having those moments of, okay, this isn't a safe space, to what got you here? Because I am trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the willful hate, just the willful lack of compassion. And maybe it's my own experience that I have a hard time understanding. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's Mo. That's his niece. It's one of his nieces, I believe. Hey, Mo.
That's adorable.
Yeah, that was Celine. That was my lovely niece.
Celine.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm not safe, but my brother
See you guys.
black.
How are you doing, Dani?
Definitely never as safe as I am. And that is a reality. And I'm trying to change that reality. And I just don't know how to do it from this side. So I'm asking somebody who's way wiser than me, and I feel like more people need to openly ask.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great conversation and a viable one. I think the thing that the one thing that I would offer you, especially being biracial as well, is while there might be more of an opportunity for you to have access, I don't know that automatically places the responsibility at your feet, especially for individuals that aren't your circle, your community, right? So like I think yeah, and it might be Steph. Like for me, Steph goes, I feel like I'm missing something. It might be because I'm working at the same time. Yeah, I think that this is a great discussion. Like when we can have like a varied perspective on it. So because for me, whether you are white passing or not, I still don't feel like turning the heads of white people is on you in any way, shape, or form. And I think if I were going to take that position, and it's something that you feel like if it's something that you feel like it is on you to do, like if you feel like that because you are white passing, then it would be something that I would be, I don't know, like because I don't like in my brain. So I'll give you an example. So like obviously even me being biracial, we were at a family reunion a few years back, right? And one of my aunts made a comment, something about quote unquote a dirty Mexican, right? And I immediately was like, I'm sorry, what? You know what I mean? And I feel like that is my space because we were amongst family. So it made it an acceptable environment for her to be able to say whatever, or at least she thought. And so I think for me,
Dani,
yeah.
I'm sorry it's noisy here. I couldn't hear you. But I wanted to check in. How is your backache? Is there any positive updates with it? What's going on?
About the same. About the same.
Sad to hear.
Yeah. Yes.
We want to have some good news.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, inshallah, we get some good news soon.
Yeah, inshallah. We'll get there.
Someone wants to say hi to you.
Okay.
Hi, Dani.
Hi.
You let me take my girls?
Yeah, you got.
Oh, it was me. Sophia and Celine wanted to say hi, but then Mo came and he took Sophia and Celine.
I saw him say he brought Celine on the camera. You just had these.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get you some.
Yeah, he did.
I'm almost
I
done.
will join you, inshallah, the next panel says.
Yeah, because I'm gonna
join the next panel, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. I don't think people have a ton of coins today, but yeah, next time. So yeah, Mo, next time, hopefully. Okay, guys, I'm gonna rotate out. So let me ask my Danikins. So sorry, Jack. Danikins, am I understanding correctly that maybe coins today aren't as I don't even know what I want to say. Whatever. Right. So listen, do not stress. Friday is better. Yeah. Thank you, Leah. Less abundant, less fruitful. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Got it. Perfect. No worries. So what we will do is we will have another Pally panel on Friday or Saturday when they are a little bit more fruitful and abundant. So no worries, folks. No worries. Yes, Steph's over here helping over here. Everybody's offering me different words. Y'all are like a thesaurus right now, and I'm here for it. So appreciate it. Yeah, Mo, can you let people know in Arabic that that things are tight for people, and that we'll do another one Friday or Saturday when we have more coins? Yeah, babe.
خلاص اخواننا من فلسطين هي بتقول لكم انه الامور مش تمام ماديا يعني الامور شويه صعبه. When's the other time, Dani?
Well, I'll do it either Friday or Saturday. It'll be one of those 2 days because people get paid on Friday.
اوكي هي بتقول لكم انه البانل الجاي يوم الجمعه والسبت بيكون الناس قبضوا وقتها وان شاء الله بيكون الوضع اتحسن بطلعكم وبتكون احسن شويه. Okay, then I just want to say for the people in here for how consistent they are for this amazing community. Like, may God reward you for this. Gazans and Palestinians are talking huge in a very beautiful way about you when your name is mentioned. So just know much love for you all. This thing, you stand with us, just is like a big message that we're not left alone in this path we're in. Like, we know you got our back. That's like a spark in our life. So thank you so much. Even thank you isn't enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steph.
We appreciate you all, and we love you.
Beautiful faces, these smiles. We appreciate you too, Dani.
I always share with you some things, but today I had scary experience that happened with me. Not for gifting, for sharing my story only, sister Yani. If you had times, I try to tell my story quickly. I have great at the first. I have a great pleasure to be here again because for the moment last Friday I thought my life will be ended, and I want to see you again and hear your voice again and see anyone in this life again, sister. Because I decided to took my children to the north during this travel. More 3 tanks shot of us directly, sister. That's happened with us last Friday. More 3 tanks shot us directly, and our children was crying, women, men, everyone in the car was in a miserable situation. But because we have Allah, because we have also life, Allah want for us to be survive. The driver quick speedily and return to another road, but unfortunately the car in front of us stay, and the tank shot of him, and all of the people inside this car be murdered, sister. But we have a luck because we are survive and return and get another road. To feel that your life will be end to the second. That's mean the life didn't mean anything. Do you know, sister? I used to do to get to didn't take any my children with me because I know the situation in the north. But my intention to be to please them and make enjoy for them. But what happened? They take afraid time. And then when we reach in the north, I try to be positive with them, buy for them some sweet joy like this. And my mother was very worried about what happened with me. And we returned alhamdulillah to the town now. But after that, me and my children be sick. My little daughter be sick. She has skin disease also. I was tired and sleeping all the time, maybe near 2 days. My oldest daughters also feel sick because what happened for us, we shocked what was happening with us. I think this impact of our health immediate. I think this is the reason why we feel like that. Okay, we return and we speak with you, and we return to Dani family. We have an age to continue in this life, to be strong again, to do everything we can do for that. Thank you for listening to me, and that's what I want to share with you, sister.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're glad that you are okay. I heard Salam and I had heard that you were live one day, and there were some big boom booms that happened right around you, and people were concerned, and they were hoping that you were that you guys were okay, and all the things. So, I think not enough people focus on the fact that appreciate you, that there's still no real ceasefire in Gaza, that people are still being harmed and hurt. Yeah, so we are glad that you are still here, 100%, and that we're able to help in any way, even any small way that we're able to do that. So, yeah, glad you are still here, sis. So, folks, here's what I'm going to do over here as we get ready to kind of wrap up over here. Can one of my mods help me? I want us to try to, I don't want to do lots of what I think maybe we might have enough to help out one more. Let me see Hi, Habibi. Hi, cutie. Waving at me. Beautiful baby. Alhamdulillah. Keep halak. Yes, baby, I'm coming. I'm going to make you some noodles. Okay. I'm going to make you some noodles. You tired, sissy? Y'all, Miss Mila is struggling today. Can y'all tell that she's struggling just a tiny bit today? Because she is. Yeah, she needs some noodles, Jay Nice. All right, so let me just
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Salam Dani.
Salam Muhammad. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
How are you, Sister Dani? Wallahi, I miss you, Sister Dani.
You have to come. Yeah, we've missed you too. Yeah, I got you, Carla. Same. So here's what we're gonna do for you guys over here. I will definitely be back tomorrow. I need to do all of the data so I can get the email out for everybody for tomorrow. Just so that everybody knows, make sure that you have all your information in for Project for the People. Look for an email that specifically says that it is from Dani. If you just search your email for Dani, Dani, then it will be there and you will be able to see it and all the things. And you'll get a link. You'll get a link to the meeting tomorrow. You get a link to the Google Drive. Remember, do not share that Google Drive link. Share the link for people to join so that we can keep tracking where we all are geographically located, because the numbers and being able to track the numbers with the geography is what gives us power, is what enables us to be able to make things happen. So please remember to do that and all of that. Okay. So I just want to remind everybody of that. Okay. You guys let me know. Do we have Anything? I know, Carly, you said you got to go. This is when it gets really, really like kind of yucky and sticky, right? So, hey, Wasim. Yeah. One more, Scotty. Appreciate you guys. So you guys over here, I will see you all tomorrow. Okay. All right. Love you minutes. Okay. Bye.
Big. Twins, big.
Yeah, the twins are.